They fly into places that have no roads, places with such beauty it'll take your breath away, places that most pilots wouldn't dream of going, thought to only be accessible by helicopter. Beyond just getting there, these pilots turn everything into a competition. And in this case, shorter is better. Shorter takeoffs, shorter landings. They've come to Lakeland, Florida, where normally thousands of people gather in April for the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. At the Sun and Fun campus, the main focus is to benefit the Aerospace Center for Excellence, which fosters the love of aviation in generations to come. But today, STOL comes alive as these pilots put their skills to the test at Sun and Fun's famed Paradise City. The National STOL Series kicks off today, not only for prizes, but valuable points that will crown a champion at the end of the 2021 season. Welcome to the Aviat Aircraft Central Florida Classic.
Dang, that was good. He wants to maximize the takeoff. Let's go. Oh, it's going to be a drop down. Nails a landing. I think that takeoff was better, Hal. That was good. Oh, yes. That was almost perfect.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. John Jughead Council here at the 2020 Aviate Aircraft Central Florida Classic. We're at Paradise City Runway at Sun and Fun Lakeland Linder Airport. John Jughead Council being joined on the stage up here today with STOL legend Jeff Pohl. And wow, what a day of flying we have had between Thursday's practices, Friday's preliminaries, and now we are ready for the finals, Jeff. And it has been some hot competition, hasn't it?
I tell you what, it's been pretty crazy out there. Then you put me up here with you, and I'm nervous. I thought flying was bad enough. Now you put me up here in front of a camera, so this is new.
We're actually both filling two roles. We're up here bringing the entertainment to everybody out at Live Air Show TV, and we are competing today. So I need all the advantage I can get. So I'm getting you up here sweating just a little bit, buddy.
I don't know, man. You put on your lucky vest. You didn't have that yesterday, so today's a new day.
Well, we've had some challenges yesterday, and here we're bringing up, looks like Doug, our National STOL Director, and it has been a busy day for him. Let's bring Doug over here just a little bit and ask him a few questions about this.
Get on over here, Doug.
Morning, people.
Well, good morning, sir. It's been a tough morning for you. We've had some weather to contend with, having to get things changed around, but fill us in. It looks like it's a great event.
Oh, look at this crowd out here. I mean, it's amazing. I bet we've got, 750,000 people already out here this morning waiting on us to start. Obviously, National STOL seem to get a reputation for weather. I don't know, but it comes with us. But it's looking good. We're just waiting for that little light to go out in that tower over there, and we're going to launch here probably in the next 15, 30 minutes, we think. So.
Well, that sounds great. Now, of course, Lone Star STOL started this off back in Gainesville, Texas. We're now here at Paradise City, Sun and Fun, Lakeland. What else can people expect out of the National STOL League as we go forward in what is the fastest growing aspect of general aviation?
It is. As Jughead and I and Jeff, we've talked about this a lot, is, my vision for this thing was to get new people involved in the sport, have this 17-year-old kid from nowhere come in and win like Jaden is doing now and some of this stuff. So we're really excited about that. This is going to be a series, of course. That's where it was born there with Lone Star STOL, and now with National STOL coming up. And so I guess it's a good time anybody to tell us kind of what our preliminary schedule is. We haven't made this announcement yet, but we're working very closely with the guys out at Golden State, and assuming the COVID doesn't affect us, we're going to be working with them to appear there mid-February at their event, and then up in Hood River, Oregon later in the year, probably, and I think it's Memorial Day weekend or right in that area. Of course, we're going to be, Jeff, probably about the first weekend of August. I think is what we're looking at for your event up there with Southwesters.
Yeah, we're going to shoot for it. I think we should probably wait and see what's going to happen with Oshkosh and go from there.
It'll be summer.
All right.
We're really in flux on the schedule with COVID, but Sun and Fun has already corralled me last night and wanted us back here in the spring.
That's great news. So I'll tell everybody just to make sure to go to nationalstol.com. They can get all the latest updates. And we're going to get ready. It looks like the weather's continuing to get better. I think it's time to get some airplanes going, and I think I'll be going for a walk. So,
okay.
Doug, please tell all your staff and all our volunteers from the local area, thanks for their work to make this a great event.
Yeah, these volunteers have been amazing. Sun and Fun has been amazing, and I want to thank everybody for watching and for being here.
All righty. Well, Jeff and I are going to wrap up yesterday's competitions, and it was super tight. I mean, we have got in each category or each class of competition, Jeff, we've got people that are within just a few feet, and we have seen the lead swap back and forth several times.
It's been tight. We've got newcomers, we've got veterans, both, like you say, within feet of each other. So this is going to be really exciting, and this is what's fun about STOL. It's new and veterans come together. Everybody is pushing everyone else to win and succeed.
Well, Jeff, let's look at the video from highlights yesterday, and then I'm going to head to the pits, and we're going to talk to some of the performers. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, buddy. Good morning, and let's talk about the weather. Today, the wind has switched about 180 degrees from what we were dealing with yesterday. So everyone went out there, and we got the runway flip-flop. So we're going to be taking off in the opposite direction than we were yesterday. And thankfully, hopefully that's going to help us. We had a tree line on the south end of the runway that was kind of given a dead spot right at the touchdown line. So many of us struggled not to scratch. So today, we're hoping it's going to be a little bit better. Now we've got the wind is about 5 miles an hour, and it's coming out of, looks like the north, which is pretty much right down the runway, or just slightly quartering. We're hoping that today's scores are going to be a little bit better, and we're going to have far fewer scratches. And Jughead, how are we doing down there?
Great. We're down here in the pits, and I think it's time to take the people out. Let's check out the airplanes and talk to some of the pilots. Right here is one of my favorite airplanes. It's the heavy touring class. It is pretty much a stock 182, and it's so cool because it's not stripped down, it's not modified, it's not anything. And we've got our pilot here. Introduce yourself to the crowds. Tell us about what is going on here, fun you're having.
Well, I'm Sheldon Hetherington out of Pensacola, Florida, stock 182, and you know, it's a blast to fly. All I've got on it is VGs, and I really only started practicing for this event probably about a couple months ago, really, and just absolutely love it because it's a way to, you know, just show people that, hey, you can go have fun in an airplane that is not
All right. Well, the cool thing is here, it sounds like there it's working for us now. The cool thing is you're just out here demonstrating an everyday airplane that anyone can afford. A lot of people here fly, and you're just using the basic skills that you've learned as a private pilot and just polish them a little bit. So we wish you the best of luck out here. It's going to be different winds, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's see who else is down the line down here. Oh, now here's a family classic. Jimmy, you know all about flying STOL. You know all about putting on the show as well. This beautiful 180 Skywagon, I hear this has been in the family forever. It's a stock airplane, and you're pretty much leading the pack out here, aren't you?
Well, luck has a lot to do with it, but it's been fun. It's been the first time I've ever had to fly. Gotten to fly. I've had to redo all the shows. So I'm a rookie.
You're a rookie as a pilot. You're putting on a STOL event. Which do you prefer? What's easier?
Oh, flying by far.
What? So we wish you the best of luck out here today. Let's go see who else we can find, all right? All right. Well, we're looking around back here. I see Jay Stanford back here. Stanford got a line of people at Yeehaw 6. We can't even get back to him. Look at, there's our beautiful AV8 Huskies, our title sponsors here. That airplane, a couple of them are going to set the standard. So, Jeff, we're going to head back up your way. I think it's about time to get our flying going soon. And now, let's pay a few of those bills.
We want to thank
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to bring everybody up to speed on this new event of just how the rules work. So, Joel, Jeff, easy for me to say, Jeff, Paul, Joel, I'll combine it. Tell us about the rules.
So basically, these pilots are going for the best combined takeoff and landing in a single run. Now, each one of these guys today is going to get 2 runs. So you have to take the best combination, not the best takeoff from this one and the best landing from that one. So basically what's happening is here, where the line judge is going to bring the pilot up to the line. He's going to center his axle at the line. The air boss is going to go ahead and launch him. Now this guy is he's going to be going for his best takeoff. Now this one here is, look at that, clean, nice and clean. Now what's going to happen next is, as these guys come in, they're aiming for that line. We all want to just pound that powder, but it doesn't always happen. In this case, what is going on here? Is he going to make it? Jughead, he gave up a few feet, but you can't ask for anything better than that. Now this guy's going to get on the brakes. He's going to get on the brakes hard. He's going to get that thing to a complete stop. Now here at National STOL Series, they've upped things a bit, and they're using laser to measure this. Now let's see what happens here. We got a guy coming in. Oh, just a little bit short. That's going to be a no score. We call that a scratch.
Okay, and those scratches are being determined both by a laser that we have at the start-finish line as well as a visual judge on the line and a review video judge. So we've got 3 layers of protection to make sure that, no kidding, it is being called, because the performers really are trying to get right on the line. Now, the different types of airplanes, a lot like auto racing, we have different classes of competitors here, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we've got 5.
5. So we're going to start and run the competition from the heaviest airplanes down to the lightest airplanes. And what's really cool about it makes it fair for everybody. The first is our heavy touring class. Here today we've got 2 180s and 3 182s competing in this. And the most important thing, this is the heavyweights, up to a 3,600-pound max gross certified takeoff for these airplanes. But you're going to find this heavy touring class competition is very tight. Really consistent flying out of these. Then the favorite, light touring class. That's where you and I compete in our Cessna 170s. Today we're battling a couple 172s though. We've got an old classic modified tail dragger 172, and then we've got a completely stock nose dragger 172 being flown by Matt, the good colonel. So that's up to 2,499 pounds in the weight category. The Bush class, here's where we find our sponsor Aviate Huskies, all right, and some of the legend aircraft as well. A lot of the early Pipers out there, the PA-12s, the 18s, the 22s, some of the Carbon Cub products will be rolling in here, and this is from 1,320 pounds up to about 2,300 pounds. Fun. Experimentals where it starts getting crazy. All these different things, the Dakota Cubs, the Bearhawks, the Carbon Cub EXs and FXs, which we're going to see today. Big thing here, lightweight, experimental, 1,320 pounds or above, because then we got the really high-performing guys and gals. This is in our light experimental class. All right. Our C Sport Carbon Cubs, our Rands, our S7s. Here's where the Super STOLs are and the Just products. These are the light guys down to 1,320 pounds, and just about anything goes with their performance. And, of course, Yeehaw 6, Steve Henry's in this category as well. And, man, is the competition tight. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see it all. So
let's get into the standings from yesterday.
Well, where are we on that? That is really close there. Heavy touring, I told you it's close. Look at that. Between Warren Grobler and William Grillstrap, both flying in 182s.
4 feet.
4 feet difference. Jimmy Gist there in the 180, Jeff Stanford in a 182, a little bit longer. But realize everything's turned around today, different conditions, so anybody could still win. Those scores get erased.
This is like a new airport today.
New qualifier. Oh, look at this. Boy, Santa Claus came early. Jeff Pohl sitting on top of the light touring at 319. Nice job.
That could all change, Jughead.
It sure
you put
can.
on your vest.
Just got to stretch a few times. Joel Dobson, that tail wheel, 172 conversion at 551, and Matt Peterson, a 604. But you notice, Matt had the 2 DQs, so he really had to be conservative on his third pass. Today, I think he's going to be a lot more competitive. I expect those scores to be within 100 feet
nipping
of each
at
other.
his heels.
There's the Bush class for us. Look at that. The Nose NX Cub is here leading at 283. Austin Clemens right behind him. So look at that. 3 guys within 30 feet of each other. And then Sam Ryan and Doug in a variety of airplanes starting to stretch it out. But, again, new winds, new directions. DQs are going to be a factor, especially with only 2 tries. The experimental Bush class, Jay Stanford. So maybe he's going to step it up again today. Of course, Viking Engines is in there. Amir's with his Super Cub. It's going to be a good one. But here's where it all boils down. This is what a lot of people came to see, is the experimental light category. Steve Henry, Yeehaw 6, setting the standard at another event with his Edge Performance 300 Yamaha, 138 feet. I heard he actually made some modifications to the airplane last night to make it better. But Connor Simmons, that young man in the Carbon Cub, is not giving up early at 180, 202. There's a tight horse race right there for second and third place. So it's going to be a lot of great flying. And, man, this weather is getting good. I'm getting excited.
It's
I
finally clearing up. Now, Jughead, these numbers we're looking at, now, if we compare these to Texas, now you think of Texas as warm just like here, but these numbers are a lot longer for everybody. I mean, look at Steve Henry.
Yeah.
And then you just look, everything is double what we experienced this spring, isn't it?
That's true. And talking about longer, let's go look at the guys flying the longer passes. They may be the longer takeoff rolls, but our heavy touring class is really tight, exciting action. Let's watch some of the review from what happened yesterday, Jeff. All right, Jeff. Well, this is the moment everybody's been waiting for here at Paradise City. We have got the airplane starting to taxi out. Sheldon's going to be going off first. How the orders working from yesterday? We took basically in reverse or flip the order. So those who did best in yesterday's heat will fly at the end of today's competition. A little bit different as well as you get both passes in the same heat today. So we're going to see the 5 airplanes, the top 6 in each category or class made it to today's competition. So they're going to all fly one pass, immediately taxi right back in and fly their second pass. So not as much.
I think we're going to see some consistency changes today, being able to run both of the passes kind of back to back.
Yes, but you got to realize they don't get to sit and watch everybody and study like yesterday. Yesterday, all the good pilots were going to school watching everybody else. And what we saw yesterday, especially on the subsequent passes, was lots of people dropping it in short or getting those scratches. Sheldon Hetherington's going to be starting off out of Pensacola, Florida, so just up around the bay. Got that beautiful stock, just 182, though. And this is what I really want everybody to understand out there, whether you're watching us online or here in the crowd. Any pilot with the basic pilot skills in any aircraft can come out here and compete. And it's not necessarily about winning the contest, taking home the trophy. The camaraderie that goes on, the pilots sharing techniques and procedures and safety ideas, and just learning to be a better, more proficient pilot with your airplane. That's what it's all about here with STOL, isn't it?
It is. A friend of mine calls it stolmanship. You got marksmanship, you got airmanship, and my friend Terry calls it stolmanship. And I think that's a perfect word for it. And like you said, anybody can come out here, and you got the guys, the heavy hitters that are pulling, every ounce of gas out of their airplane. But you know what? They're aiming for that line. You got guys like this that are coming out for fun. They can still win.
They absolutely can still win, because we saw some of the best STOL pilots out there yesterday completely scratch out of the contest and not get a score. And you and I have been at contests before where we've seen that. Guys who were favored to win never put up a score.
There's some gamesmanship and a lot of mental part of this, not just the flying. So the line judge has marshaled them up from the ready line. They're going to get those center axles of the main gear. For a nose wheel airplane, we're measuring off the mains.
Look at this wind is shifting a little bit. You feel that? Coming out our backs. It's almost a straight crosswind out of the right.
Direct crosswind. That could be an issue on braking effectiveness as well. Let's get the Aviate Classic at Paradise City Airborne.
Oh, maybe just a little too soon. He took her to the end.
So what happens when you go early that way? What's it do aerodynamically to the airplane?
It kills every bit of lift you had, and it puts you right back on the ground, and you cry.
He put all that angle of attack on the wing when he tried to rotate, hoping it was ready to fly, and when he put the angle of attack on, he bought a lot of induced drag, and when it wasn't ready to fly, he didn't put the nose. He really needed to get that nose back down, get it flying speed, and then pull it off again. It probably would have been shorter, but he knows that one's kind of tough. Here comes Mr. Jeff Stanford out of the corner of Georgia, this beautifully restored 57-182. Pretty much a stock airplane, sitting up a little bit higher, has the potential to pull a little more angle of attack when he rotates. Let's see if he can perfectly time it, pop the flaps, rotate, and get airborne all at once.
That was clean.
That was good.
He's got the lead in the takeoff right now.
Looks to be just over 200 feet, possibly around the 240-foot range. That looking good. Here comes our man right now, Jimmy Gist, the family 180 truckster here. It's original airplane, original paint, window still. It's been in the family his whole life. I think his brother bought it. 213 for Mr. Stanford. That's a good way to start it out. Now,
these are our three leaders right now. Third place coming up in second, and then first from yesterday. So these guys are really battling it out, aren't they?
Any one of these could easily walk away. Well, to be honest, any of the five really could make it to the podium today. Now, this is a souped-up 182, old straight tail, long gear, VGs on the wings. Looks like it's got a STOL kit on as well, probably a Robertson there based on the fences.
He was killing the takeoffs yesterday.
He performed really well, but can he get it down on landing as well? This is William Gilstrap out of Colusa, Oklahoma. He's been in a few competitions, so he's not exactly a rookie.
Just like that, clean. What was he at, about 175?
Just under 200 possibly. We'll get the final, maybe just a little bit more. You notice he gave up a little bit. The airplane veered just to the left as he came off the brakes. Now it took some rudder. That's drag. He may have even been on the right brake just a little bit to get it straightened up. So I know he wishes he'd done a little better on that.
204 on that takeoff.
Here's a big
holy
tail.
Buckets, look at that tail up there.
Look at that.
Oh, a little too soon, but he's still
slightly early there. That is Warren Grobler out of Naples, Florida. Woo! That he might have had the seat cushion pulled up all the way there. Hope
I know.
Those,
I had a seat cushion pulled up in there for a second.
Go to Sport Aircraft Seats and you get new ones for your airplane right there. Okay, here comes our first landing. Coming back in. Sheldon, let's see what we can do. He's setting the standard. That looking good. Nice. Rolled it on at about 20, and now can he get it shut down?
Brakes.
Technique-wise, I'd love to see him reach over and flip up those flaps. Now, these are electric flaps. They're going to come up slowly, but any extra weight you can get on the main gear to increase your braking effectiveness will help you out there.
He's got one in the books, though.
He does have one in the books, and everybody else behind him doesn't yet, and they don't know it. There's a lot of psychological warfare going on in these competitions as well. Okay. Now, here's where Jeff Stanford was doing well yesterday. I think he was pretty consistent on his landings. He knows he gives up a little bit on the takeoffs. Hopefully, he's looking down the flags. All the flags are showing, well, I was going to say fairly consistent, but I think still, they're all about 8, 9 mile an hour right cross. We see that with the crab coming in. It's all about getting into the slow flight. We're going to get in the region of reverse command where it takes more power to stay at altitude, using pitch for airspeed, transition to that low ground effect, keep it in the air. And that one is coming up short. I see the red on the laser. The line judge is throwing the X as well.
So that's going to be a tough one for him. Puts him one chance left. The pressure just got a lot heavier on Mr. Stanford.
And that is what we call a scratch. Nobody wants that. We don't wish it on our worst enemies. We're all friends here, but it happens.
Okay. So from running, talking to Jimmy earlier, he says it's a lot easier to fly in these events than it is to coordinate them, though he's been an excellent coordinator of many STOL events, including with the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association at their regional fly-ins. This beautiful 180, he's going to be looking to come in, set it onto its mains right on the line, dump the flaps, hold the tail up, and use all the brake he can to keep it
It's a beautiful
decelerating.
approach.
That is nice and
power,
stable. Flare.
power.
He got it.
He got
it.
That tail wheel touched, I thought it was done, but he had, wow.
The tail wheel touching before the line is good, though, right, Jeff?
As long as it's not too far before the line. That's a death sentence if you're too far out.
So, the judges out there have a reflector. We're using LiDAR measuring 204 feet on the landing.
Look at that.
Cleared the line by about 6 inches. Thanks to onboard images for the great images that you're seeing mounted on the struts in various places on our airplanes. Mark and Angela always giving you the absolute best onboard images of any aviation event.
We should also remember that we had mist all morning long, so there could be some residual moisture on the grass extending these landings a little bit. And the more that come in, you know, they'll wear that moisture off for us, Jughead.
Well, I heard once the narrator start talking, all the hot air dries out the grass pretty quickly. So I don't know about that, though. Okay, we saw the nice takeoff. Can William get this 182 perfectly on the line? Oh, that
He's
is
got a
going
safe one in the
long.
books.
He is not going to like the 60 feet he gave away right there. So all of a sudden, everybody who didn't quite have the best takeoff, that's a long roll for him. That's telling me a little bit about the grass.
That's probably about 100 foot longer than he was doing yesterday. But you know what? He was playing it safe.
He was. He's got one in the books.
Now his next one, I bet you he's going for the line.
Okay. We saw the takeoff. It made everybody nervous. You got that tail way up high. That is a technique a lot of people use. And the reason being is when the tail comes down, there's a rotational force that they transition from the tail high position. It actually adds a little bit of forward airspeed to the airplane and to help it get off. But it's a fine line between being too high up.
This is our current leader in the heavy touring class. Let's see what he can pull together here at the line.
Can he keep it going?
He said he was going to get one in the books first, and he got
There's a good one in the books. Alaska bush wheel skidding initially because he's touching down with the brakes on, brings it to a stop. Looks like around the 230-foot range. I think he is going to be happy with that. I don't know how you can't be for the opening because now he can really go for it.
See what the judges have to say on this one. I think that was our shortest one.
231.
Good guess.
He did as well with that as I think one of my landings in your 170.
I think we were both in that same book. That's a pretty impressive landing for that 180. That is a light 180.
It is. No paint on it. And people, you know, polished airplanes look gorgeous. They are a lot of maintenance to polish, but they do make a difference in weight. You know, other things, great things out there is all the great lightweight capabilities that you'll see when our Aviat Huskies were the sponsors of the National STOL event. That Husky is such a great practical airplane. It's got a usable CG that will just let you stow so much gear, carry more than you ever thought you could safely. And all of it with a real impressive fuel economy. There's nothing worse than getting in the backcountry and not having gas to go play, but with the Husky, you're always going to be able to take it all 800 miles without refueling all your gear and your passenger. Remember Huskies, faster, stronger, and more.
Let's talk about for a second. This, as far as STOL
Oh,
competition.
look at this, the heavy touring. So where we're at, 430, 145, 45. So a fair 80-foot buffer there. But the pilots don't see this. They don't know. Jimmy Gist at 597, Jeff Stanford with a scratch in Harrington. So it's still a battle for the podium. Anybody could still put it together on this one. Great view of the airplanes as they taxi by.
It's pretty awesome that Aviat Husky, a huge manufacturer of aircraft here, is sponsoring an event like this. I don't think out of all the STOL competitions that we've been to, have you seen a major player like that be a part of something like this before?
No, but they're not the only one. American Legend Aircraft is also a big supporter of the National STOL League, and we got a variety of their airplanes. And it's cool. They got 4 different basic airplanes that you can custom modify when you build and design and have them produced. Everything from a J3 replica and basically improving upon the old classic up to what we're going to see flying twice today, the mother of all Cubs. This is a totally tricked out experimental leading edge slats, all sorts of crazy stuff on it. Exciting airplanes across the spectrum for anybody that's looking for a good classic tail dragger airplane. American Legends got you covered.
So not only one, but we have 2 big players that are jumping on board to support STOL.
Yes.
How awesome is that?
Well, STOL competition and STOL flying, backcountry flying, has become the fastest growing realm of general aviation. We see it everywhere. We see it in mainline media. We see it online. We see it at flying events like this. I mean, Sun and Fun's been around forever. They've never had STOL, and now they're calling up and going, let's go. So here we go. Speaking of go, round 2.
This is the money round. This is where it's all decided.
Okay, he's a rookie. His first competition. He's been doing a nice job just flying a good basic airplane. He knows the odds are stacked against him, but the scratches could be stacked in his favor.
Well, I think what we're going to see here is we're going to see Warren trying even harder. We talked. I mean, this is before things started today. We talked. He was going to get his one in the books, and then he was really going to go for it. Although I feel like he kind of went for it on his first one. Let's see what he does on the second one.
Yeah. Hopefully he's using a technique where he'll look out there and know that about the 250-foot cone is about the time to try to rotate it, and that airplane will get airborne. Maybe a little gust of wind will be timed just perfectly. Good clean brake release off the line. Flaps are at 10. He's rolling in some flaps. It looks like a better rotation.
Touch back in again.
It's slightly better, but I don't think it's going to be really what he was looking for, Jeff.
I think in the future, if he, once he gets rolling, starts out with 10, that's great. He swats that thing down. Once he gets rolling good, he's going to see himself come off the ground a lot sooner.
Now, the manual flaps of the older Cessnas is
So
a
much
real
easier.
advantage
Yeah.
in STOL competition. You can reach down, pull it. I think you pull yours all the way from 0. I start at 10 degrees flaps because I can reach the handle easier.
Yep, I started at 10 and then pulled 40. Yep.
And my goal is to be airborne with 30 degrees of flaps, but sometimes you need all 40. Check this out. Bald eagle right over the top. He's like, I want to play in this game. God bless America. Oh, that is cool. Woo! All right, Mr. Stanford, let's do it. Let's take the little prize money home to Georgia. I'm pretty sure his son, Jay, is going to take some home, but let's see if Jeff, Dad, can take some home as well.
Look at that.
Keep it
come
airborne.
on.
Keep it airborne. Yes!
He got it.
Whoa!
Nice.
He just set the standard on the landing. The crowd here is applauding. They appreciate that effort. They know how hard that was. Somebody wants to win. You see our cameraman just about fell down right out in front. Good on you. Good on you. The camera's
Look at that
expensive.
replay right there. That was just clean. He could not have taken it off.
193 feet.
He could not have taken that off 1 second
No.
sooner.
Little bit of headwind, just a slight little bit of headwind component. Maybe only 1 to 2 mile an hour, but that can make a difference. Jimmy saw that. Jimmy knows he's got to put this together with this big Skyway.
I don't think he's going to be happy with that Jughead.
I think he got all he could out of the airplane. But he knows that he has a better landing capability than the 182. So he gave up some on the takeoff. He's got to win it back on the landing.
Now this guy was watching.
He was watching. Speaking of watching, check out the great onboard images right there. Cool. Line judge pulling him up. He's going to roll that axle right to the line. Boom. William Gilstrap. Let's see if you can take home your second award. He was on the podium at Lone Star STOL with us in Gainesville, Texas back in March. Prop is a roaring.
He's been real consistent and short, and look at that. About, what, 160, 70 feet?
I think it's going to be just short of 2, about 194.
You've been pretty consistent, you're guessing, so I'll just let you have that.
194 is my prediction here. 1 foot behind. 189.
It was
He
right in
takes
between
the-
us, you know. I mean, kind of in between us.
Takes the lead on the takeoff for sure. So now it's boiled down right now to him, Mr. Stanford, for the win on landing. But not to be outdone, Grobelar here, Carolina boy, STOL Bandit, Florida airplane pilots. It's an 0470. It's a J model. Aero Classic 8.5 tires. Those don't look to me. It looks like he's upgraded those to Alaska Bush Wheel 26s.
And he's going for it.
There
And he's
you
got
go.
it. I don't think that's going to be the shortest takeoff yet, though.
No, but I think that's going to be competitive for him. I would
Yep.
love to have seen him bring the tail down simultaneously with pulling his flaps. I think for the Cessna airframe that might have gotten him a little bit more, but I'm not the expert in the 180, so we'll leave it up to him.
And then maybe afterwards we can ask him how to pronounce his last name, because I've tried that a few different times and I can't get it out the same.
Yeah, it definitely it is a name for sure. Okay, they've been here for 4 days. They've flown in from all over the United States, and it is all coming down to the next half-mile final.
Ooh. This is our
That
rookie
is
coming in
definitely
here.
a headwind component coming to the line. It's now about a 45-degree offset. It's only blowing 4 to 5, which is giving you a 2-mile-an-hour headwind, but that's better than they had on their first pass. So, can they take advantage of it? Our light STOL guys down there are warming up. I see the colonel. I see the lieutenant colonel. I'd never thought about that. Yeah, old Diesel's, I think he was a lieutenant colonel, probably a major. He only flew F-16s. He wasn't that smart.
For those of that weren't watching yesterday, in the light touring class, what you're going to see coming up here is Air Force and Army, head-to-head.
That's true. Tail wheel, nose wheel. All right. The backdoor 182 action. Dragging in low. Chop that power. Oh, late on the chop. Long touchdown. But you know what? He came out here as a fairly inexperienced pilot. He developed the skills he's been practicing. He gave it his best, and I sure appreciate him coming down.
Hey, he made the finals.
He did
right?
make the finals, absolutely. Sheldon Hetherington and his beautiful J Model 182. 2-1 Papa Victor. Good job, buddy. He was late to the airplane, but he might be first to the podium in the heavy touring class.
Let's see what happens.
Higher, steeper final. It's stable. There's the power cut. Floating, it's going long. 90 foot gave away at the line. Grass
There's the
throwing up
flying.
behind the tires. Those Aero Classic tires for the treads will help him just a bit. He's going to stretch it all the way. LiDAR measurement is coming in. NR 1957 182 437. 437 on the score. Here we go. Who's it going to be? Jimmy, you want to take home first prize money? Pretty good money, too.
It's a nice approach.
Oh,
and he's got it. Now that's real
On at 50.
consistent.
Now, get the tail up. Back stick as hard on the brakes as you safely can, and he does. Brings it all the way as the left brake starts to fade just a bit. So we know we beat the last two guys, it looks like. But here's where it is. Here is where it comes down to it. This is why everybody's here. In this category, this class, these guys are the closest together just about of any of the classes. The workhorse airplanes, you can load them up on the weekday with the cattle, hay,
These are working planes.
supplies. Absolutely, these are working planes.
These are the pickup trucks
Do the
of
business
aircraft.
travel you need at 150 mile an hour plus. 3 hops halfway across the U.S.
Now his takeoffs have been phenomenal. Let's see what he does at the line.
Oh,
here.
this is looking sweet.
Nice job. Gave up to what,
Really?
25 feet
Yeah.
maybe?
Great, safe, competitive. Oh, but boy, he's taking it all the way down there. That is about where our 180 just before us was. Jimmy and him are going to be neck and neck. I'm running out of breath.
304
feet. 304. right, Warren, it is all up to you. You could be first, second, third, or no show, all based on this effort in the next 10 seconds.
Do we even know who's leading up till this point right now?
We don't.
It's a mystery for us, too. He's got some sink. He's got a
Power,
little power.
off,
Chop it.
good.
And that's good. Gave up maybe 50 feet, but he's on
I like
those
the
brakes.
effort. I like the effort. Just
That's
past the
nice,
200-foot
that's
mark.
a nice landing. 205.
Woo.
I'm going to go with 205. What do you think?
He's definitely got the best landings, but he doesn't have the best takeoff. So let's see how it is going to tally out here at the Central Florida Classics, brought to you by Aviat Aircraft,
216.
American Legend, 216. Of course, AirTech Coatings, make, paint, fly. Apparently, Warren doesn't quite agree with that make, paint, fly thing. He doesn't have paint on that airplane. Of course, grip ties, reusable, plastic or rubber lined, perfect for your airplane. We're looking at the heavy touring category, and Warren Grobler is going to win it at 403. William Gilstrap coming in second at 493. Jimmy Gist at 597. They actually finished in the exact same order that they came into it today. Everybody, consistency across the board. Jeff Stanford, 630, and Sheldon at 678. Gentlemen, thank you for bringing in our heavy touring class. We greatly appreciate it. Looks like this is somebody getting loaded up and headed home, one of our earlier competitors that did not qualify for the finals. We appreciate you coming into town. Hopefully he's got a nice, comfortable sport aircraft seat to ride home, because it's a little tougher riding home when you don't have some prize money in your wallet to cushion the ride. But
I tell you what, I do not have those sport aircraft seats, and the 12 hours down here from Minnesota was not fun.
Well, the cool thing is you can go to Sport Aircraft Seats online, just design your seats, your colors, your fabrics, several great options. They will just sew them up for you up in Wasilla, Alaska, ship them down, and then it's just about an hour-and-a-half process. You can completely take the old padding off your seats and upholstery, put this new beautiful stuff on. I had the pleasure of flying with them all the way down from Anchorage in the Alaska Air Show Association 180, and they were sweet.
So just so the audience knows, you're only going to see a few aircraft out here in this particular heat. This is the light touring. There's a MOAC in the back, and that's not actually part of light touring, but he's going to run here. But Jughead and I will be in this class, but we're going to have to run last so that we can talk to you guys today. So there's a couple more aircraft of this class, and it will just have to be scored later.
There'll just be more drama built throughout the day. The reason the MOAC is flying here is there is a father and a son both flying the same airplane, and so you can't run them in the same heat.
So it's almost like you and me.
Yeah, kind of. So we'll run one here. His scores will transfer into his appropriate heat. Coming up here first, this is our Army Reserve Colonel, Mr. Matt Peterson. You know, and something interesting is he learned to fly at the age of 45, so about 10 years ago. And he just decided he needed a challenge in his life. He went out, he bought this stock 172 and used it for all his training, and found out that, wow, I can actually really do some great STOL work with it. All it has is a climb prop, otherwise it's completely stock. And it is impressive. He was on the podium at Lone Star STOL with us.
And he didn't even have that climb prop then, did he?
No, he didn't.
He had the cruise prop.
He had the cruise prop. And so he is in the running here today. But let me tell you, age is not a difference. Doesn't matter. And he has gotten so heavily into aviation just in the last 10 years. Loved it. So let's get it started. Matt Peterson, the 57 straight tail Skyhawk, even before it was called a Skyhawk. There's pulling the flaps, the rotate, tail touches the ground just as he does that, but it was a little bit early, and you still see him working real hard in that slow flight, keeping the airplane flying in low ground effect. Here's our Air Force veteran. He's an F-16 pilot, now flies for Delta Airlines. This is a kind of Frankenstein airplane. It is a Franklin 180 horse-powered Cessna 172 that's been converted to a tail wheel. 31-inch Alaska bush wheels, sportsman cuff, STOL, VGs. He's heavy though because he's got the Javelin tank in there. A great backcountry airplane flying up in the southeast and out of the Carolinas and Tennessee now. The STOL Bandits. Joel Dobson.
It was 270 feet for Matthew Peterson, the Colonel, 270.
All right. Well, Joel's going to like that out of the Colonel because that'll give Joel. Joel knows he's looking at about a 250-foot takeoff on a good day. Tails up, flaps coming down, nice rotate, very nice. That's going to be in around the 225
Looks like we got some sinking at the end there.
Sweet. He's going to be good with that. Now, the clouds are moving off. The temperature's going to come up. The density altitude's going to come up. All of a sudden.
Not good for us later, is it?
That's not good for us. That means the air is getting thinner. But hopefully the wind starts to pick up this afternoon as well. This wind is continuing to shift a little more of a headwind component, Jeff, and all the competitors are loving that, except for those that have already flown. But you know what? In the limited amount of time it takes for the competitors to make their circuits, it really doesn't change.
So, Jughead, would this MOAC typically be in the bush class?
This would be the light experimental class, actually,
okay.
yeah. And that is Luke Spohr. I'm sorry, yeah, the experimental bush. A Legend MOAC 2015 model. We've seen that airplane perform and win at Lone Star STOL. And no, he's not a sore loser. The rifle racks on the wing struts are not actually being used at this time. Well, they are. They're being used by onboard images. That's where they've got the camera battery systems and the camera radio, so you can get some cool onboard images for our folks back home watching it live. Airshow TV. Great point of view. Not too different than what some of the pilots can see out of the side of their airplanes with great visibility.
Here comes the Colonel on final approach. He's not going to like his takeoff. Let's see if he can nail this landing.
Well, the good news is he's a Louisiana Cajun boy, so if he starts swearing, we won't actually understand any of the words.
You know what? This guy is probably the most humble, nicest. If you can say a sweet man, if that's okay, he's a sweet man. I mean, this is one of the nicest guys in aviation that I've met.
Yeah, he's a big teddy bear, though, because I wouldn't want to piss him off. He looks like he's, well, I know he's been in a few good Army fights. That is going to be right on the line or just slightly short. What do we get for the line judge ruling? Replay.
Oh, that's short. Doggone it.
I couldn't, the sun angle, I couldn't even tell. I think they're going downstairs. We're going to our third layer of analysis on that.
Go frame by frame. I don't think he's going to be happy. I think he knows what's going on, and he's going to fix it on round two.
JT, the race coordinator, is busy right now looking at that. He will give us the official answer here soon. Joel, it is a scratch for the Colonel. That is too bad. All right. Well, do it one more time there, boss, and you can do it. Joel Dobson now coming in. Oh, look at that wind shift. That was interesting. That'll take a little bit of confidence out of the stability of the air and maybe make you rethink your approach profile.
That was similar
looking
to yesterday.
Nice and stable, though.
Oh, power.
Power.
Oh, and that's,
he got it. He
that might be on the line. That's going to go downstairs.
Dang it. Oh.
You know, this is similar to yesterday when the wind started shifting, and it really plays with these guys.
Okay, but look at this. Each of these
262.
262.
Unofficially, he's got 262. I think it's good. I think he nailed the line.
I think he did too. Diesel Dobson pulling into the lead with his Franklin-powered 172. All these flags are starting to do different things, kind of like we had yesterday. Really makes it tough for the pilots when the air is not stable and consistent. Now, our mother of all Cubs, Legend, high-performance product. Oh, boy. Father-son competition going on here, if I remember right. John Wisdom will be flying it later. This is Luke Spohr.
He's working it.
He worked a little bit of power. Reaches up, dumps the flaps. So it looks like Behringer brakes and axles maybe. Skidding the tires to a stop. Oh, where are we at?
Go with about 210. What do you think?
No, I think he's about 168. A little bit of bounce right there. Gave up some distance because when those tires come off the ground, 166, pretty good.
Well, I'm just going to shut up from now on. You're spot on.
My eyes are just better looking out there measuring distance. That's what I did flying F-15s. Was everything was analyzing distance and angles and closures with your eyeballs.
Good for you, bud.
So let's get the light touring reset here, and then we are on to our bush class. And wow, we've got a lot of stuff in the bush. We've got a Husky. We've got another Husky. We've got another Husky.
How do you suppose?
Yeah, probably because Aviate makes some incredible backcountry bush airplanes, and the pilots love to fly them. They're easy to fly, great to get good performance. You know, shock dampened, independent landing gear out there, which will help in the crosswind. You know, hit a rock or a rut or a stick or that GoPro camera. One tire will absorb the bump and the other one will stay pinned to the ground, which is nice safety factor and just makes it all better.
These are notes for Cessna if they ever bring the 170 back, right?
What's that?
I said these are notes for Cessna if they ever bring the 170 back, you know, some improvements.
Oh, yeah. That Husky, the widest range of avionics packages from your basic VFR to your hard IFRs available in them as well. And, of course, the ADS-B mandate is all built in. If you want a unique panel, just go to Aviat. They'll custom design it any way you want. Faster, stronger, more. Aviat Husky, bringing it to you every day. Oh, it's great to see more people out here in the crowd. We got multiple rows. It's starting to get tougher to walk by.
And the sun's coming out.
Yeah. General aviation airplanes, people flying in to join Sun and Fun. I really am thankful that Sun and Fun as an organization had the courage to go on and hold this event during these tough times. As we look out on our line judges here, we see a lot of young men and women out there from the Lakeland Aero Club and volunteers from the schools out here that have come out to line judge. We really appreciate it. Jimmy, nice flying out there, sir. It's it was a tough competition, it looked like. So, you know, the Colonel, has anybody ever left the master switch on their airplane inadvertently?
I think everybody has.
Yeah, I think everybody has. That's why I leave my beacons always on. Well, his battery was dead this morning. He went over to the Aero Club and asked if he could get a power cart. And they went, well, no, here's a brand new battery. Just go stick this battery in your airplane. Give us your battery. We'll go throw it on the charger. You fly all day on our battery, and then we'll maybe swap out later.
Wow.
Talk about great hospitality.
That's the aviation community
That's
right
the
there.
aviation community. Okay, so Air Boss is getting ready to stage. There he is. Matt Peterson pulling up.
Now he's scratched out. He had a long takeoff. He scratched on his landing. He needs to pull this one together. I hope he knows it. I mean, these are all friends in our class here. I mean, we want them all to do well.
He bought my dinner last night.
Did he?
Yes.
He didn't buy mine. I was sitting at the same table.
Well, you know. Sorry, bud.
Oh.
But
everybody's got their
I
favorites.
did make a mistake, though, because we were asking about his new climb prop, and it's not an 8042. It's a 7648, I think. So he hasn't gone all the way as much of a climb prop as he can. Now, he's going to have to put some bigger tires on to get the clearance.
I think he's going to go there. I mean, he's hooked. He's not leaving STOL.
Yeah,
he's
infected by the disease.
Now
let's see if he can get that takeoff he was looking for. He waited this time better. Oh, get off the ground.
Just a second too soon, but you know what? It was shorter than his last one, I think.
It was. I know it wasn't what he wanted. He could have done better. We've seen him do better in the last 2 days.
Oh. What did he get here?
Well, the good news is if he has to go home empty-handed, he's got the shortest trip home out of
310 feet.
310.
And you know what? For a stock 172, that's a very respectable takeoff.
Oh, that's real respectable.
If you look at the POH, what is it? Probably 1,000, 1,200 foot for conditions like this.
Okay, Diesel Dobson. This guy is I got to give it to him, even though he's an F-16 guy. He's a good stick. He's been out in Washington and flown my 170. Got him his first gravel bar landing, and he really has been a fast learner in the STOL sport category. He went over, did really well at Arkansas STOL at the STOL Cross event this spring, or this late summer, I'm sorry. So let's see it, Diesel. Let's get 88 Tango Charlie going.
Now that's a heavy airplane, so he's got a lot of things working against him. Early rotation is going to extend his takeoff.
He's going to be right out there with the Colonel, real close to what the Colonel is. So it's going to come down to the landing roll. Double puck brakes on those big Alaska 31. So he's got some good stopping power, but that nose of that Franklin motor is heavy, which means he can't get on the brakes as hard as he would like, or he risks tipping over onto his nose.
And the Colonel has a nose wheel, so he can tromp on the brakes as hard as he wants.
But he's got the little tire, so he doesn't have as much surface area of tire for braking.
Yeah, well, let's see who can pull it together here, right?
They both have manual flaps, so they've got that going to them. Of course, now Luke is setting the early standard here. Luke Spohr, early standard with the BOAC. Such a good-looking airplane. I love the paint scheme. Those leading edge slats helping to increase low speed flight, higher AOA. Forward gear, big climb prop. Woo, that was a nice one. I think that was going to be shorter than his first. Rolling in right at about 125.
Now what's going on with these winds, Jughead? I'm not feeling it at my back anymore. Did it switch on us again? Right down the runway or quartering? I don't.
Look at this flag right here on the box. Yeah,
quartering
it's a
headwinds.
quarter.
That's
45-degree quarter and about 6-7 mile an hour.
This is where it's going to count. Now, do we have 2 scratches on these guys so far? Or no, we got Joel's in the books. Joel's in the books. So the Colonel needs to pull this one together.
Okay, look at Joel. Joel's out there practicing his slow flight again on the downwind and base. He was doing some stuff yesterday, doing the same thing, taking advantage of every opportunity to become better with his airplane.
That is a professional.
Here we go. We need one in the books. Come on,
Power,
Colonel.
power.
Come on. You got it.
Got
nice,
it. He's
nice.
in.
Get on the brakes.
brakes.
Flaps are up. He's doing everything right. Can he make it? Can he get it?
His brakes are fading now, but he's
there. That would have been a classic case to reach up, shut the mags off. Get that static thrust off on the rollout.
You know you're going for every inch when you do that.
No, you know you're going for every inch when you have a sport aircraft seats, builds you up a super light, just competition seat. Thick pads to raise you up to increase your visibility. No
and
fabric,
when you're short like
no
me, you need
anything.
that. I need a booster seat. 5'9.5". When you're under 6 foot, you count the half.
All right. There's that swirly spot again. We need to note that. Right at about 180 feet.
See, we've got the bird's eye view. We get to see what's going on out there throughout the day before we get in the airplane.
All right. Well, that is a slight advantage that we get to take school on him. Oh, that's looking good. Chop it. Good job, Diesel. He's got 2 consistent ones. Look at the wheels. Skid and release, anti-skid working manually. That is perfect. That is about as good as Diesel can get it. Just past 200 feet mark. I know he's going to be happy with that. You know what that means? We don't have any room to spare.
No, 211 feet.
211. Nice job, buddy. Nice job. Now, here's the part that everybody doesn't understand. He's got to run back over to his camping ground, get his airplane loaded up, and try to get headed home tonight by 2:15 in the afternoon. Oh, the life of a STOL competition pilot. All right, Luke, you set the standard on the first pass. You got good one in the books.
Oh, little balloon.
Big float right there. But look at this, suspension. I think some Acme struts underneath there just totally soaked that up. He was on the brakes when he touched down. A nice braking effort. Unfortunately, he just gave up about 75 feet at the line here.
From touchdown to stop was only about 50 feet. Now, if
Yeah.
you could bring that back to the line,
156 total. But what it was that airplane started to sink. He had to add the power to it to increase the airflow over the tail, increase that AOA, keep it airborne, but that also carried him forward. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we're looking. All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking for the results to come up here. We will get those right after this break.
We love our new home. There's so much space.
We have a guest room now?
But we have ants.
You're slouching again, Ted.
Expired.
Expired. Expired.
Thanks, Aunt Bonnie.
It's a lot of house. I hope you can keep it clean.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save a lot of money.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request?
I'll have to check.
Aunt Joni's here.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Aviat Classic 2020 here at Lakeland Linder Regional Airport. It is National STOL competition at the Winter Classic, and wow, we got a great event going on for us today. Joel Dobson is leading our light tour, and Matt Peterson in second at 6:30. But Jeff, you and I both have a chance to go and compete a little bit later, so we won't know those total results until we get done at the end of our narration and then our flying.
It's gonna be tight, Jughead. I got to see you fly my airplane yesterday, which is always difficult to do, and to see you actually land it better than me is even harder. And so I gave you a pretty good razzing while you were out there, and afterwards I completely expected you to do that after everything you said to me yesterday. And then I found out people were telling me he was so nice to you. He was
well,
so
you
nice to you.
Use your airplane,
I felt
so that's
terrible.
Nice.
I'll be nicer to you today, I promise.
Well, the American Legend aircraft are out here helping support us, but right now, we're kind of the stars of the show are some of these Aviat Huskies. And the first one coming up is Doug Smith. This beautiful 180 horsepower airplane. He's only been flying tail wheels for about 2 years, but he says it's the most fun that he's ever had with tail wheel airplanes. He's going to be starting us off on the Bush class. So these are our production certified Bush type airplanes. This is kind of what everybody thinks about, Jeff, when they think about Bush flying. You know, the moose hunters up in Alaska and the float planes out in Maine and stuff like that. They really are the great classic airplanes. He spends his time in North Florida and then in the rest of the summer up north in Idaho and Montana, and he gets it started off nicely right at about 200 feet. Doug Smith and November 9-7 hotel uniform, a Husky A1C, great for takeoff to start it with. But the Piper boys are right behind him here. This is none other than Ryan Morin, 150 horse Piper Cub. He's kind of just running on the small stock 8.5 inch tires, 213 on the takeoff. I think Doug will be happy with that. We got 160. Thinks maybe done something to the engine here just a bit because he thinks he might be pumping out up to 160 horse. He was consistent yesterday, so that's a nice thing to have Ryan going into the finals here. But this is his first STOL competition, so the pressure from yesterday's competition, Jeff, has gotten even stronger.
And there's more people out here, I can tell you. I mean, I don't know about you, Jughead, you're used to the crowd, but if I look off and I see people, I start sweating kind of like I am up here right now. Another nice, clean takeoff. What was that one, Jughead, with your eagle eyes?
I was... I'm going to have to put that right at about 199.5. Yeah, I was coughing as I do, or sneezing.
If you're even close, while you put your head down to cough, I'm walking off this
197. That's pretty good. You stay right here. You stay right here until you get my airplane ready to get warmed up. All right, here's another one of our beautiful Huskies. This one's carrying a cargo pod. You can either put the cargo or a little bit of fuel in it or some of both. This is Sam Barth. This is a great-looking airplane. It's a 2020 model. Brand new and just one of the sharpest paint schemes you'll see out there. Forward gear on it. I think I see some VGs along the top of that paint scheme, the way they got them painted.
That's a beautiful airplane.
Oh, listen to that thing roar. That dog has some bark.
That's got to be a Trailblazer out there. I'm just guessing.
Trailblazer prop, you think, huh? Well, I bet so. Coming in again right at about 196 feet, I'm saying. Gary Ward, one of our professional pilots that's crossed over, and what I mean by that,
195 feet. You were 1 foot off a guess. Seriously?
It's not hard. I just look out there and see where they put their foot on the line.
We're at a 45-degree angle from the line.
Gary Ward is a lifelong air show professional, flying an MX-2 out of Georgia. He's been up at the Valdez STOL competition, but he did it as an air show demonstrator, not a STOL pilot. He got into this Super Cub, and he has fallen in love with STOL flying. And here's a great example of how you learn. We'll watch this take off.
Nice and
looking
clean.
pretty good. Looking pretty good around the 176 foot, maybe 180. But Gary's a professional pilot, one of the best stick and rudder guys out there. But when he started to learn to fly STOL, he didn't go out there and go, I know how to do this. No, he's been on the phone, he's been on email, he's been on the internet. He's been talking to everybody in the world going, teach me, teach me, teach me. And that's the way everybody should approach this. Is it's not necessarily the amount of hours or anything, it's the experience. Great onboard images again, thanks to
very humble man, Gears. Very humble man. There's no room for anything other than that.
So here's one of our youngsters, Austin Clemens, about 17 years old when he started flying at the age of 12. And this is about all he's done is fly this really pissed off Husky.
Look at that.
Someone forgot to feed that dog this morning, and he is not happy about it. A lot of extra horsepower in that airplane.
Is this the one with the goofy prop now?
Well, when you say goofy, you don't mean like up the road at Disney World, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, we're going to see that prop. We'll hold the suspense for people till they come back down just a bit. Now, some people might say that this next airplane flown by Chuck Henberger is goofy. This is the Carbon Cub NX. N stands for nose gear, X meaning it is an X Cub. It is a bush airplane that'll fly along at 145 mile an hour all day and still land in less than 300 feet. And now it has a nose gear.
Listen to that thing roar.
Oh,
I had to...
Wow. My gosh, there's our first.
Off.
Oh, real close to a sub 100 foot takeoff. That is sweet. I think Chuck is going to like that. Of course, he was leading the class earlier, and I think he's going to keep it going today. That's an IO 393 Titan coming in, and that set the standard right there.
I eat any ill feeling I had about putting a nose wheel on that airplane right now.
Yeah, that's the thing, is people may make fun of it until they get beat by it consistently. Well, here comes Doug coming back in, our first Husky to come back to the line. Let's see if this pup can find the pound.
Nice.
Nicely done. Rolls it on smoothly at 50 feet, and now it's all just about maximizing the brakes, toe brakes on the Huskies, improving the safety, comfort, and ease of flying them, and getting the max performance out of them. Now, a little longer than I think he may like, but I think consistent with what he's been doing over the week here.
Well, he's got one more. He's got one in the books. You know, he's got a safe one. Maybe he'll pull the ring on the next one.
Absolutely. Now, our Piper Cub coming back in. Definitely bringing it in low. Going to carry it in. Some extra speed there. Get below that tree line. Get into consistent air. Floating. Oh, this is looking good. Not bad. Not bad. A little bounce. Takes away the brakes. Brakes don't work when they're in the air. Lifting up the flaps. Up on the tail all the way to the end. He got everything he could out of his brakes. I really do think so. And I think right there giving Doug a run for his money. So Ryan, he says, I'm in this to win. Sam Barth, this is our brand new 2020. I mean, you can get 180 horse, 200 horse Huskies now. Modified gear, improved gear, custom interiors, custom panels, make them as fancy as you want. Full
I didn't know you had that many
IFR
options.
capable. Yeah. It's like build a plane. You know, it's like take your little girl to the mall and build a bear. It's like, nope, Daddy gets to build a plane, or Mommy gets to build a plane now. And you can't ask for a better looking paint scheme than what's on this airplane. Now, let's see if he can bring it in and get it pinned down. That is looking good. Floated. Oh, wow, it really floated a lot longer than I thought it would. Goes to show how well that wing works.
I was just going to say, that's a heck of an airfoil, isn't it, Jughead?
Good brakes on it. Good brakes. That thing set down, squatted. The gear really held. Those Alaska bush wheels grabbing all the grass it could. Pulling a little St. Augustine blaze out of the ground, going, get out of here. This is going to be a tight race. Now here's the Gary Ward sneaking it in. Let's see how well he has gone to school with what everybody has taught him. He came in yesterday with no practice, made it to the finals. This is looking good, but is it going to...
Oh, he
nice.
made it.
30 feet on the line, but that is good considering they crossed the line at only about a foot high. 3-point braking action the whole way, so obviously could have got on the brakes a little more, but you and I have both talked about this. Those are heel brakes. We couldn't have done better with heel brakes. I don't know how guys do that. They must have little feet.
And those Cubs are lighter on the tail.
283 feet.
Those Cubs are a lot lighter on the tail than the 170s we're used to flying, so.
Yeah, you can't let that tail start up too quickly because it will go all the way over on you, even if you get off the brake. So definitely playing it safe.
We want no
challenging
bent props
conditions.
today.
Now, talking about props, this is the one. This is it.
Oh, this is the goofy prop.
MT reversible propeller. So watch, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes to this line. Yesterday, he actually had it in reverse while he was still airborne. So we'll listen to it and see how he does today.
Look
at that. Look at that.
Wow.
And yes, that is allowed in the rules. There's a round of applause. The second big reaction from our crowd here today.
And
oh my gosh, the 17-year-old Austin Clemens out of Benton, Kansas, does it again with his Husky. What was that distance?
255.
255.
No.
No, that couldn't be right. We got the wrong graphic there. We'll see what that's going to turn out to be. I hear the kid's just about as good in a Stearman biplane as he is with that Husky. All right. 155. There we go.
I guess I went pretty close.
Yeah. Chuck Kinsberger, though, has got the NX Cub. Now, watch this. He'll actually hit the ground sometimes so hard with this that the mains will come off the ground. That hurts him because it's not slowing down when the mains are off the ground. So let's see if he can feather it onto the ground. Max braking. There he goes. That's a little bit effort. That big trailing link nose gear absorbing the forward motion. Ooh, he got beat.
That's a little bit long landing, but his take was short.
All right. Well, as our Busch Class Heat number 1 starts to reposition, let's go take a look at this Sun and Fun.
Look at all those cars.
Look at all those cars. That
Look
is
at all those
great.
people that wanted to come and see this event.
Flight. The feeling of exhilaration and anticipation when you lift off the ground and break through the clouds. It was that feeling that inspired the Wright brothers, Amelia Earhart, Bessie Coleman, Neil Armstrong, to shatter boundaries and explore frontiers that others thought were impossible. For over 40 years, we have been sharing that incredible feeling of flight at the annual Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo. It is what drove us to grow from a small group of aviation enthusiasts to one of the largest conventions in the world, and paved the way for us to create something that would impact future generations. With that vision in mind, the Aerospace Center for Excellence, or ACE, was formed. ACE resides on the 25 acres of the Sun and Fun Expo campus in Lakeland, Florida. Today, with the support of the Fly-In, year-round events, generous donors, volunteers, and key partnerships, ACE is reaching over 20,000 students, funding $2 million in STEM education programs, including $430,000 in aerospace scholarships annually. ACE was the first to create a high school flying club with its own grass airstrip, the first to have a high school unmanned aircraft system club operate on airport property, the first to have a fully functioning Boeing 727 classroom. We are the world's leader in producing teenage pilots, and we have launched an airframe and power plant certification program. ACE is home to the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, a public STEM high school, and aerospace discovery at the Florida Air Museum, the official aviation museum of the state of Florida. Through ACE, we have accomplished extraordinary firsts and are preparing today's youth to meet tomorrow's aerospace challenges. Our world needs more Orvals, Wilburs, Amelias, Bessies, and Neils, ready to explore and inspire us to be more than we ever thought possible. Join us in giving the gift of flight and creating the next generation of aerospace professionals. The Aerospace Center for Excellence, where the sky is just the beginning.
Well, Jeff, the first round of the Busch Finals is in the book. Standings right here. Look at this. Austin Clemens at 3:02. Chuck Kinberger, easy for me to say. 3:39. Gary Ward, 4:68. Ryan Moore and Sam Barth and Doug Smith rounding it out. But we know that we had some passes in there that were really good, but we know there were some people that didn't hit their best. So it still is anybody's game. That is definitely a better takeoff than Doug's first. So he has already said, I am not willing to give up yet. No?
No, I'll just let you do it, man. I'm gonna kick back. If I didn't have to fly, I'd be go find that beer garden.
We're having too much fun up here, and of course, big thanks to Grip Lock Ties. Maybe I'll hook one of those on there for you. 206 on the takeoff there, but of course, AirTech Coating, they make paint fly, and they do have some beautiful paint. I don't know if that's what's on that Christian Husky down there, but that's one of the prettiest paint schemes out there. But I've seen their work. AirTech Coating. If you're looking to paint your airplane, give them a call. We got them covered. Super Cub on the roll. Ryan going for it one more time. He had a great takeoff on the first one, and this one, I think it's going to be pretty similar.
Consistency is key in this game.
It is. It is. And it's so funny because as a pilot, you don't know which ones are your best takeoffs and landings. Yesterday, I thought my best takeoff was actually my worst. I thought my worst landing, it came in second, and what I thought was okay was actually my best landing. So it's so hard to tell in the airplane because it's a game of feet and inches.
Yeah. You know, you talk about this making paint fly. Now, what about, can we put helium in those big tires and get off the ground quicker?
People have tried it.
Oh, I bet they have.
People have tried it in the STOL competitions. All right, here's our brand new 2020. The only about good thing to come out in 2020, I think, was that Husky off the assembly line up in Afton, Wyoming.
The second best thing to happen in 2020 is this right here, Jughead.
Absolutely. The Winter Classic here at Paradise City Runway, and I think that fits nicely today. Thanks to John Leitch and everybody at Sun and Fun for inviting us here. And I hope they're liking it, because I know the crowd's out there liking it here, and everybody out at Live Air Show TV around the world. We want to say thanks for coming out and joining us. Here's our onboard images of Gary Ward. We'll watch this takeoff. PA-18, 150 horse. Little guy, though. He's a lightweight guy. Stick full forward, hand down on the flap lever. Stick comes back, flaps go down. That
was a nice takeoff.
Yeah.
He's got to. I'm not going to get you guess it. I always screw this up.
I wasn't even looking at it that closely. I was watching those
125-ish.
I was watching those Airframes Alaska slotted Fowler flaps that he has on there.
You were looking down Coffin, and you got the last one within a foot.
And they made a difference. They got that airplane airborne. But this youngster, I mean, I just can't believe this.
133.
133.
79 years old. Gary Ward is 79 years old.
You would never know it. He's still super fit, athletic, running, flying his helicopter, his aerobatic airplane.
And I apologize if you didn't want me to tell anybody.
But let's see if the youngster can knock the old man off the podium, because that's about what it boils down to right now.
17 years old, Austin Clemens. Tails up, and that was a nice clean rotation. I don't know if he could have got much sooner.
You notice the N3 or the T3 tail wheel suspension on the airplane. When he pulled back on the stick, the tail hit the ground, compressed those nitrogen spring shocks, gave the airplane more AOA, allowed it to get airborne a little bit sooner.
And you and I both know that T3 works. We've got them on our 170s.
Protect the airframe, make the aircraft safer on off-airport landings, increase performance, reliability. You absolutely cannot go wrong with the T3 tail wheel suspension system. Now, can Chuck take this NX nose gear carbon cub from Southern Cubs, local carbon cub dealer? Can he keep it on the podium?
Look at that takeoff. That was, all right, you're the pro here, but I'm going to say
83.
83? I'm going 90.
Oh, I think you're going to be closer than me on that one for sure.
What did you say again? I forgot already.
I said 83, but I'm low.
Okay.
But if you're over, it's like the price is right. You're out.
I would have been out a long time ago, bud.
Well timed on that. 94. There you go. You're getting it figured out. It's time for...
No, you said 93.
I said 83.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. You got it. You got it. Okay, so this is it. For the Busch class, it is all coming down to the next landing. You're only as good as your last landing, and this last landing is what's going to actually, I think, decide who wins and who loses. There's some beautiful, beautiful trophies that they're giving away here at the Aero Classic. Thanks to American Legend Aircraft, Aviat, Husky, Grip Ties, AirTech Coatings for helping bring those to us. I would love to take one of those home. It'd look good on my hanger wall.
It would. I was just thinking about that. And they actually got them pre-drilled, so you just throw a couple nails in there, you're done.
I hope they spelled John right.
Oh, I
no
doubt
H.
it.
Come on, Doug.
Short.
Oh, hits down early on that one. That will be a scratch. He's going to just roll to the end of the runway, turn right, and go back into contested parking. But we sure want to thank Doug Smith out of Tallahassee, Florida, for coming down and being part of the Winter Classic, showing those great Husky airplanes off to everybody here. Now, Ryan. He grew up farming outside of Atlanta back when it was nothing but farms around Atlanta. I think he spent a little bit of time on a horse. Riding a Piper Cub at slow speed this way is not a whole lot different. Let's see if he's got everything under the reins.
Tail wheel is
wow. Oh, but he had to add
he saved
so
it,
much
though.
power. He saved it, but he had to add so much. He gave away 100 feet. He's going to be stopped at about 250.
Touching the tail when you're that far back, you know, I mean, it does take some talent to be able to carry that thing through.
Let's see what the judges say on that score, Jeff. 246.
Now, how can you call that out before it's even on the screen? Are they talking special to you in your ear?
God was talking in my ear.
Oh,
again,
here we go again. They're playing favorites. And Matthew Peterson, the colonel, bought your dinner last night, so clearly I know where I stand.
Hopefully in second place at the end of the day.
Well, you know what? Maybe things are going to change for me today.
Maybe. Let's see if they're going to change here. Sam Barth, can he make it happen?
Oh, a little, you know what? I'm going to let the judges make that call, but it looked a little scratchy to me. Scratch.
Nope.
Yeah, doggone it.
That one's done. But he had one in. It was time to go for it. That's what it is. You get one in the books, and then you put everything on the line, and he put it on the grass before the line. But I love having this laser to determine, and the judge,
and it breaks it down
and the
into
cameras,
inches.
and it really makes it reliable. Allows us to get good, super accurate analysis of the landings. Because we have had STOL competitions come down to less than a foot. We've had STOL races come down to less than 5 seconds.
Laser is going to change this game, no doubt. And
Let's see if Gary Ward's going to change his place on the podium. Move it on up with his Cub. Beautiful red, white, and blue scheme. Pull the power. Touching it down.
That's about 40 feet, but he's on the brakes. He's doing a great job, and he's going to get it stopped under 200.
Better braking effort than his first pass for sure. Looking to come in right at around, looks like about 185, 190 feet, I would think.
183. 183 for Gary Ward.
I keep thinking this wind's going to swing and get more and more of a headwind component, but I'm just not seeing it. It's kind of holding consistent at 45 degrees off. He set the standard. The reversing prop is helping. Let's see if he can put one more down for show. Right now,
nice
I think he's got it.
Look at that.
Wow. The crowd likes it. And
115-ish, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that reversing prop is actually de-rotating the airplane. So it's pushing backwards above the center of gravity, so it's making it less likely to nose over.
Feet.
Got that. That is just a great feature. Can you imagine that in the backcountry? Oh,
wouldn't that be something?
That would
is
be
117 feet. Is that our shortest so far?
So far, I think you are right.
I think everybody needs that prop.
Ooh. I'm pretty sure they don't have a model for a 170 yet. Maybe for your engine.
Would the airplane know it? I mean, I'm just asking.
Would the FAA know it?
No. Would my airplane? No. If there's any FAA out here, kidding.
All right. He's the demo sales guy. It's funny because he's like, I wish I'd practiced in this airplane more. It's like, well, if you're not even what you consider good at it, and you're doing this well. Oh, he gave it everything, hit short. He knows it's a scratch. He's just going to roll it on through with that beautiful NX Cub. You never know what's going to come out of the hangars up in Yakima, Washington, and we thank Chuck Kinsberger for bringing that one down. I think he's going to have enough there to keep the class wins. So we'll see what the results are going to be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the Bush class. Let's go take a quick little break, and after the break, we'll have the results of our Bush.
We love our new home. There's so much space.
We have a guest room now.
But we have ants.
You're slouching again, Ted.
Expired. Expired. Expired.
Thanks, Aunt Bonnie.
It's a lot of house. I hope you can keep it clean.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save a lot of money.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request?
I'll have to check.
Aunt Joni's here.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a great day we are having here at the Winter Classic, brought to you by Aviat Aircraft. The Bush class results are in. Austin Clemens has taken home the trophy at 266 feet, followed by Gary Ward. He moved up to second at 316. Chuck Kinberger and our NX Cub, 339. Ryan Moore in 471. Sam Barth brings up fifth, and Doug Smith is sixth with 556. I told you it was tight competition, Jeff. We actually saw a big flip-flop of the lead right here, and that NX Cub got knocked off.
Anything can happen. It's a competition. It's
by
humans.
a Christian Husky.
How about that?
All right, Jeff, check out the light experimental yesterday was absolutely incredible, and I think we've got some footage that we can review right here. Amir and his modified Super Cub, great story. Had dinner with this gentleman last night. His family actually had to escape Iran. His father was an Iranian fighter pilot, and
oh wow,
yeah, when it all went bad in the 70s, they escaped on an airplane out of the country. Look at this, a amphibious float plane in the finals, I think,
anybody else
today. I can't believe it. I don't know. We sat there and we said we've never seen that happen before. Then by the end of the day, we had two float planes flying. Incredible.
Well, we are
Carbon
in Florida.
Cup float plane. But here's the man setting the standard. He's getting the running for the all-around title. Jeff. Oh, yeah. Jay Stanford doing it in that Super Cub. Here's our Zenith and Viking-powered engines in there. Super cool, unique airplane. The guys really put it out on the line. Our MOAC is back in the competition. We saw it flying earlier. John Wisdom will be in it for this round. And so now, it is about time, I think, to get back to the live action, Jeff. It is going to get good. The wind is shifting. Look at our Bald Eagle is back. He wants to get in on it. There it is. There's the float plane. Can you imagine this? Did you think that you were coming from Minnesota and going to see a float plane in a STOL competition?
I came from the land of 10,000 lakes, and I haven't seen a float plane in a STOL competition in Minnesota, and now we have one down here in Florida. So we both said this was a first, and it made it to the finals. That's pretty awesome.
I think we should make sure there's one float plane at Malacca, Minnesota at Sodbuster STOL this year, and that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
It's possible. Anything's possible now. We just saw it.
All
These
right.
next two classes are going to be the most exciting. Well, and then we get to run very last, so hopefully everybody sticks around to cheer us on. But the next two classes are the most exciting. These are the ones that people come to watch. These are the Steve Henrys, right?
Yep. Well, the light experimental will be the final class where Steve Henry is, but the competition in between these three is super tight, or actually between really almost all 5 of these.
Did I hear somebody mention something about nitrous in some of these?
I have seen the little blue bottle in more than one high-performance experimental STOL airplane.
Is it
yes.
possible that there is one out here?
I would suspect somebody's pumping some gas today, yeah.
Is there any way we can tell which one it is when it happens?
Possibly.
But we're not going to give up those secrets. All right, all right.
You might hear that sudden shift of RPM when they hit the bottle.
Oh?
More, usually.
When I hit the bottle, my RPMs go down.
Usually what it is you hear the RPM decrease right after they get airborne. That's usually the bigger telltale that somebody's been pumping some gas. But it's easy to tell they've been pumping too much because they got blue smoke coming out of the bottom of their airplane. All right, John Wisdom is bringing up the first of our airplanes. Again, this is the MOAC Mother. Oh, they're telling us Luke is in it now. Okay. So we flip-flopped around. Well, whoever it is, they're going to bring it to us. Creeping up to the line. I hate it when I read my notes wrong.
I can't read your notes at all, so I panicked.
From Minnesota, you can barely read.
This is true.
Look at the winds, though. They're in his favor. Ooh, a little cheat on the brakes here. That's going to cost him just a bit.
Oh! I'm going to have to say he came back down and touched
I think he did come back down. Yeah. Judges out there, we kind of had a couple people pointing, and
well, let's see what the judges have to say on that one here.
We'll watch it. It's really tough to tell.
Some pretty cool lights on there. I think, yeah.
I don't know that he ever got completely off. It's tough with those big squishy Alaska push wheel tires to tell.
152 feet.
152. All right. Now, here we go. Greg Simmons, Oklahoma. Not only a float plane, it's a float plane from the prairies. How big is the watering trough that you need to put a float plane on? So apparently, if it's a carbon cow float plane, not a lot. He's going to get airborne at about 300 feet, I think, with his airplane. They're going to measure off the back wheels on the floats. There's some full grunt. DG's going to go to
yesterday.
work.
He
Boom.
put the water
Look.
Wow.
So much for my 300-foot reference. We're talking sub 200 right there.
Remember that one yesterday where he put the water rudders in the dirt?
Yeah.
I mean, he got that thing off
He
right
got
now.
all the angle of attack that he could. Angle of attack references the angle between the wing and the relative wind striking the wing, and that's what allows a wing to produce a lot of lift when it's at slow speed. The higher the angle of attack, the more lift. But it's also more drag, Jeff, so when we see that on landing, you come in with so much angle of attack, you can't overcome that drag. The airplane falls out of the sky short.
I'm glad you're here to explain how that works, because if somebody asked me how airplanes fly, I'd save money.
All right, well, this kid was an Air Force brat, kind of like we talked about, not maybe what most would inspire, but he got into aviation and just absolutely fell in love. Comes out of Calhoun, Georgia, one of the STOL bandits, and one of the most beautiful Cubs you will see out there. Oh, look at that thing. Nice job of mirror. This is actually an experimental Charlie Aaron build Super Cub. Those that know Charlie, he's one of the classic builders in the Southeast. 160 feet. That's doing pretty good, but this is his first competition. So the takeoffs are easy. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm not looking at airspeed. I'm looking at timing. I'm looking at feel. I may look out here for a visual cue of where I expect the airplane should be able to get airborne, but it's not the traditional looking at airspeed. My airspeed indicator isn't even indicating anything when I get airborne with my 170.
Yeah, mine is usually just starting to move at the bottom a little bit off the packet.
And even on approach, it's not accurate coming in. So our Viking aircraft engines, not only is it powered by it, but the pilot of this aircraft owns the company, builds those engines, and obviously they're producing some great horsepower as that Super Zenith gets airborne at about 100 feet even. Nice job right there. That is Jan Egenfeldner. It's like, why can't they have a Smith? That'd be a lot easier, Jan Smith. Viking 195 turbo. That thing got up and going.
102 feet. 102
nice job.
feet. Now I want to watch this one take off. He's got a roller skate wheel on the back of this thing, doesn't he?
He does, and this is Jay Stanford. This is our leader in the class and a runner. He's been a multi-time performer, competitor up at Oshkosh STOL. You've seen him all over the U.S. competing in STOL drags. This is the one. We'll listen to it. He just might be putting a little juice to it.
You think so?
Big Cato 3-bladed prop.
Oh yeah, I heard some RPM shift there.
Oh!
That was under 75 foot.
Yes, it was. That might have beat everything they gave him, what he had yesterday. You know, have you ever heard of flight lights? Those lights that mount in the bottom of your wing, and so you can camp under your wing and have a nice light?
87 feet.
87 feet. Well, that's where they come from. This man invented those and produces and sells those. So go check out his airplane. I used them in the 180 coming down from Alaska. They're wonderful to camp out. You reach up there, flip. They're FAA approved. You replace one safety panel in your airplane, and you've got beautiful lights, fly lights.
So if these folks wondered what it sounded like when I airplane.
All right, so here where we are, just after the takeoffs. That Viking has pulled us up. Jan has got the Viking off the ground first. Now, the MOAC, long, beautiful final coming in past the NOAA hangar there. Check out the prop on the image here. You can tell where he's adjusting throttle. The shutter reacting to the propeller RPMs.
You can see the pilot working the stick.
Absolutely.
Working
that
the
is
winds.
A great view. Onboard images, bringing it to you like. Well, it's the first time we've ever had onboard cameras at a STOL event. A steeper approach than we see a lot of times out of the airplanes with the slats. He's playing it safe for one good one. He's got it. He's got it. 25-foot buffer, paid off well, and stopping at about 182 feet, I'd say.
Got those RPMs down, but you see that thing just starts loping. That's a thing to do, huh?
You got yours cranked down fairly low, it seemed like at times.
I'm supposed to give away all my secrets.
Well, I noticed you don't use the open the door as a speed brake technique like I did.
Oh, is that what you were doing yesterday?
Yeah. You thought I was landing hard. No, I was just open the door to let some air in, cool myself off.
I might try that today.
183 on the touchdown distance. Now,
here comes our flow plane.
Our flow plane's a totally different technique, Jeff. He talking to him, and Greg's like, you just treat it like it's a glassy water runway where you don't have any depth perception. He obviously can't drop it in, and there's not a lot of suspension. So he's got to just fly it in gently so you'll see him get down low. Just use the great flying feel of the Carbon Cub. There's the transition. Gentle touchdown. But, man, was he consistent and close yesterday.
Nice. I mean, a touchdown from 50 foot.
Yeah. That was actually one of his firmer touchdowns of any of them. I mean, he had some yesterday that you didn't even know he rolled it on. It was beautiful.
He's going for that prize money.
Score says
324.
324. Nice job. All right. That is great. Now, here comes Amir, bringing it all the way back down.
I want to watch this nitrous again. I mean, if that's what it was, in fact.
It's funny because talking to Amir last night, he's owned several airplanes, and he goes, all the other airplanes, I mean, he's had aerobatic airplanes, he's had RVs, he's had, fast traveling airplanes, and he goes, I bought the Super Cub, and all of a sudden now I find that I don't fly anything else. He goes, it is just so fun to go get in the Cub and take away the day's stress, just go fly low, smell things, see things, land in their friend's yard. That's beautiful.
No,
oh, what is the... Oh, check
that
out
might have
the
to go
tape.
downstairs. I don't know. What do you think?
No doubt that's going downstairs. Oh, I hope it's good.
That was so close. I mean, he might have just nailed it perfect, too. I think it's good. I think
it's good.
I mean, I don't think you get a whole lot closer than that other than that amazing landing you did yesterday, but it sure looks good in the replay here.
I'm still seeing shadow. I'm still
That's
seeing.
Good.
That's good.
That's
That
good.
is a good landing. Nice job, Amir.
What do the judges
and
have to
he
say on
is
that one?
He's a STOL competition rookie.
Wow.
Oh,
it's not that easy
man.
to hit the line. These folks need to understand. You're coming down from a few hundred feet, and you're aiming for a 12-inch line.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
he gets it stopped at 198 feet. I think we got some people working real hard to move up the board. He was sitting at third place, and I have a feeling after that he's going to be pretty happy because I think he's probably moved up. Let's see if the Viking can hold that Zenith in the air. It did. Lots of power response out of it, but unfortunately it floated him just a little bit long. Those Alaska bush wheels giving him the bounce up. So Jan's going to have to go in and dig a little deeper on his final pass here to try to make this happen.
185 feet.
All right, Jay Stanford.
You know, Jughead, they told me I couldn't wear a T-shirt.
Deep.
I'll put on this long shirt.
This
and
is
the sun came
definitely a steeper approach than Jay normally executes. There's
Wow.
a tailwind. Look at the flags. There's a tailwind. Where did that come from? About 152 on the landing, but
he nailed that.
What
landing.
happened to our winds? We don't want a tailwind when we fly later.
No, we'll request a runway flop, won't we?
Oh my gosh.
What happened there?
154 feet. Gate, nice on the line. I mean, only 2 feet past. That's as good as you can expect.
And then to do it with a tailwind.
Well, maybe if it had been a headwind, he might end up being a scratch as close as that was. As close as that was. Boy, I've actually got lost on this, Jeff. Was that our first or second round of
that was first.
That was the first, okay. I could barely keep my breath going, let alone keep track of how many times everybody's flown.
Getting delirious up
Woo.
here.
Well, let's see. I think they're going to give us some standings here in just a minute. There it is. Jay Stanford is currently leading it at 241. John Wisdom in second. Jan Eckenfelder, 287. Then Luke, Amir, and Greg. Okay. Well,
There's not much between second and third place. There's only 6 feet. So
That
John
surprised
Wisdom is
me.
at 281 and Jan is at 287. 6
Well,
foot
I'm a
difference.
little confused about those because showing. Okay, so we'll see here. The
Are they going through some
preliminary
things
scores
downstairs?
don't count. It's all the ones at
This
the
is
end
all
of the
preliminary.
day.
We're not the judges up here. We're just reading the preliminary.
Okay, now direct cross. No, there's a tailwind component at the 50-foot mark. There's a tailwind component at the 100-foot mark. There's a right 45 quarter tailwind all the way down the course right now.
So that would be my luck. Things would change. for
And you
us.
see there, he had to actually roll the wing down into it. It didn't take off when he wanted to. I don't know if all those pilots are looking at those flags and taking that into account. I try to, every time I approach the line, either in the air or on the ground, I try to look at each flag and get a trend of what it's doing. But at some point, you just got to
262
go.
feet.
262.
Yeah, I think that wind extended up probably a good distance. Here we go. Well, we have the grass.
Now, in some competitions, the guy will sit there and wait, kind of wait for the wind. But here, you've only got 10 seconds. From the time the air boss pulls you up to the line and gives you a go, you are on a clock. You've got to get airborne. A longer takeoff. It was a clean takeoff, so it was probably a little bit conservative. I think you probably realized that there was some wind blowing on the tail feathers of these airplanes. All right, Amir, let's get it one more time.
You watch. After he took off last time, he waved at you. He did the rudder wave.
Well, I'm a pretty nice guy. I got friends everywhere.
I know
He's getting serious. He's closing doors.
You got dinner bought for you last night.
Door closing does reduce the drag.
You were talking yesterday about how that door flaps. That helps. Politics. Come on, I'm Jughead. I'll just make it up as I go.
Now you're starting to figure this narrating stuff out, Jeff. I can't wait till Sodbusters to watch you run the event, fly the event, and talk at the event all at once.
Naked Ghost Rider. What did Mir have here? 171 feet. 171 for Mir.
Direct cross right now for Jan as he pulls up. Pumping the thumbs up, getting everybody excited on Live Air Show TV. Viking Aircraft Engines bringing it to the Winter Classic at Paradise City Runway. Oh, that one definitely settled back down.
I'm going to say it was probably about... Nope, you guess it. You're the pro here.
Yeah, he got it airborne, it touched again. He went for it all, even with, well, look at this. The 50-foot flag is now a quarter in headwind.
114 feet.
114. The first round might be what makes it for all of our experimental bush guys.
This wind switch really is making things difficult for
right
these
now,
guys.
Jay Stanford's happy. He's looking at those flags. God knows he's got that in his cross jack.
You know, Jughead, if we move you to the other end and you just keep talking, it might help things out.
Your flying needs all the help it can get, I agree. You are right, John.
Thanks, buddy.
I just hope you left enough fuel in the airplane for me to finish all my passes.
You know, that's always a mystery. Great insurance, though.
The JS gun getting going. He got it. He got it somewhere in the
under 75 again, I think.
It's looking like it for sure. Judge has got a pretty definitive spot out there. That just looks like one of our old competitor pilots out there helping Judge today. It's nice to see them giving back to the event.
68 feet. I think that's the shortest one yet.
Wow. I think I know how Mr. Stanford's going to buy the fuel to go home. He's going to cash in his prize money. And that's what's great about the events. National STOL, the first of the STOL events to give out prize money. And it's pretty nice change. I think we're up to, I'm going to have to look it up here during the break, but I know it's a couple grand for a win. So that's worth doing. That is worth doing. So here's our mother of all Cubs coming back in.
This is Luke, I believe, isn't it?
Oh, that's cool. Got a message from CC Pocock, one of our STOL buddies, competitor buddies. He's out there watching us on TV land. Great to see that. This is, look, better than last time. Didn't float quite as far. We'll see if it's going to get him what he wants, though.
Are you going to do your job? You're going to play on your phone. What are you doing, bud?
Trying to pull up the prize-winning amounts.
Can't leave me hanging. I get nervous.
You're okay. 201 for the landing there with the Legends, mother of all Cubs. Be sure to go down and check out that aircraft. Talk to our Legend aircraft representatives here. There's several of them running around with their great-looking shirts. Find out what Legend has in the hangars for you. Oh, we got some birds on final there. Bash condition moderate is Mr. Simmons, Greg, our Okie. Okie with the float plane. This man's confused. But he sure taught his boys how to fly. But let's see if he's going to beat them all in it. Oh, that is sweet. Nice. Roll that on. Gorgeous.
Back to your phone again.
Back to my phone again. Getting the answers. Getting the answers
to
questions you don't know.
How can you wear this up here, this monkey suit? Is this a monkey suit? What do we call this?
This is not a monkey suit. This is a fine tuxedo jacket of style.
Do me a favor, button the front button.
Holy smokes. Look who do I see a Bobby Jr.? Right there's a STOL expert down front. Look at that, man. Everybody hide your keys. Someone's about to steal the competition. Oh, geez. Valdez STOL, multi-time champion down there.
What is he doing way down here?
Well, he's living down here in Florida. I think he's a newlywed as well.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to listen to you anymore. Just keeps
He's
walking.
ignoring me.
But he waved. That was nice.
He's a kept man. He's carried a dog now.
Next will be a bit. Never mind.
All right, Amir. Nice steep. Oh, look at that. Was good. Now get on the brakes. Keep it on the ground. I love it. I love it.
$197 feet for Amir. 197.
Well, he has been a quick study of the STOL world.
Something tells me we're going to see him again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Look at that. You can go online to nationalstol.com right now and get live updates on the scores as it is happening. That's a nice feature.
Should one of us be paying attention to what's going on here? I mean this is a good plug though.
You're good. You're good.
We're good.
I'm working.
All right, you're working. All right. Here's coming. What's this? This is Jan, isn't it? Jan in the Zenith.
It is. Full span flaperons, the leading edge slats. Max, he got it on that one. He needed to put one together, Jeff, and he did it. Answered the call on his last chance here at Paradise City. I know he'll be happy with it. If it's going to be good enough to get him as high up the podium as he would like, I don't know.
172 feet. Yeah, I don't know, boy. There's been some stiff competition in here.
Look at the wind. Velocity is picking up. It's back to a 45-degree right quartering headwind. Can Jay Stanford stay on the podium?
He's got a nice high approach.
What I'm afraid of is how well his son Tripp is going to fly airplanes. He's been in them since the day he was born. Great father and a great grandfather to teach him. He is going to be lethal. Not his best landing, but it was a good takeoff, so it just might be enough to get it done. Score says 152 feet.
That's still pretty darn good.
Oh, I can't wait to see the result. But while we're waiting for those final results of our Busch Experimental Class 2 get compiled, let's go take a look at some of our great sponsorship.
Did you just point at me?
No, you're... Jeff, the Bush experimental class was absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to see what the results were.
I can't even guess which one's going to take it.
Well, I think the prize money's going back to Georgia with that beautiful blue and white Skylights experimental Super Cub being flown by Mr. Stanford. But we're going to see. I'm watching the screen. I am waiting as our light experimental starts taxiing up for our next class. There it is. Jay Stanford, he wins it at 220 feet. John Wisdom, Legend Aircraft, representing the sponsor here at 281 in second. And Viking Engines is bringing it in at 286. Luke Spohr at 335, Amir at 358, and Greg Simmons at 496. That is some great flying, some wonderful competition on our experimental class.
These are the guys that are going to make these people go nuts down here, isn't it?
Well, this is our basically our unlimited. This is anything goes. These are the high performance, lightweight. We're going to start off the light experimental right here with Tony Armar. This is a Just Super STOL 914 Rotax with fuel injection. Look at the big outward full travel suspension on the gear. Rotate, pop the flaps. Those Just airplanes just jump off the ground, and they are serious competitors every single time. Now, here's our Northeast STOL Series representative coming all the way down. He's been with us at several events. Jim Crane. Beautiful, beautiful airplane. It's kind of a sleeper airplane. You know, it doesn't look like it's got all the latest mods, super spoked up motor, trick, everything.
It just looks like a nice airplane.
It just looks like a kind of stock carbon Cub.
It's a sleeper.
Yeah. He's got a pilot with some good hands, good feel. Probably getting the feel through those sport aircraft seats, maybe. Maybe he's upgraded seats to them.
Yeah, you keep talking about how to buy some.
You should.
What's your cut?
They're so affordable and comfortable. Oh, that was good.
I'm saying about 100, you think? What do you think? About 100, all right.
That was a nice takeoff by Jim Crane, and he left a little there. Now, we have some Okies in the contest already. We had that confused one that flies the float plane out of his watering trough.
He's going to come after you.
Here's Pistol Pete. Here's another one of our Okies.
110 feet.
110. Nice. He's going to cheat a little bit, and I don't mean cheat as in against the rules. He's going to point it into the wind and maybe take a little bit of angle across that runway and try to increase his headwind component.
Change his mind, Jughead.
It was a good idea. I would have done it. If I was him, he should have done it. This is Cameron Simmons, 2015 Carbon Cub.
Tail high, look at that. Oh, a little too soon. It's going to cost him.
Yeah, it did.
It was still about 100 feet. I mean, this is a tight race so far.
He's pumping a little bit of extra horsepower there. He's got some dome pistons in that engine, doing a little bit better.
98 feet.
And he's only 24 years old. He's got a lot of years to practice this. We better watch out. Okay, here, this is, it's great to see a wide mix here. John Humbird with his Zenith 701. He's got about 130 horsepower under the cowls here. Beautiful paint scheme. Such a beautiful, unique, classic color on a modern airplane. Got a 350 IS UL power, so a little bit different. Only 2 STOL competitions in his belt, one of them being STOL Drag, where he was on the podium. Oh, and there we go. One of the great features of the Zenith airplanes is just pull that stick back, rotate so aggressively, the tail way up in the air. It'll really fly with that high camber wing and the leading edge slats.
Now,
so they are setting the standard, yeah.
After Henry, I have to watch Steve Henry take off. I can't leave here until then. But once he takes off, I have to go get an airplane ready because you and I are about to go head to head here.
That's true, and you got to switch gears from the narrator performer. Entertainer to the serious pilot, so.
No, I have to switch from the nervous, sweating guy to the pilot guy.
Just don't scratch.
I won't, buddy.
Don't scratch.
I won't, buddy.
Oh, early on the takeoff attempt out of our Carbon Cub, don't scratch.
I won't, buddy. I will not. Stop it.
Connor Simmons out there, youngster, only 21 years of age, another Oklahoma kid. We're getting overran by these Okies. You notice they all didn't show up at Texas.
But now, Steve Henry is not an Okie.
He is not an Okie.
And you guys need to watch what this guy
does.
does.
Nampa, Idaho, Edge performance-tuned engine out of a Yamaha snow machine, our snowmobile. We'll tell you Floridians what snow is later. It occurs in the wintertime up north in the mountains. Yeehaw 6, this will get it done. He is the man setting the standard at STOL competitions and STOL drag race across the U.S.
See his tail drop? See that? He's got something going on there. That's an angle of attack. Holy
54
smokes.
feet is what I'm going to call that one.
I'm going to go 49.4.
Would you believe that I heard that he bolted an extra 3 feet of wing to his airplane last night?
No, I heard 2 feet on each side, which is 4 where I came from. 55.5 for Steve Henry.
55.5.
And
Woo!
I bet that was conservative. He's going to get one in the books, and then he's going to get real crazy.
I think that's true. But realize, Jeff, the takeoffs are the easy part. It's on the landing where you scratch and don't get a score.
Buddy,
and
I'm
you
not
only
gonna
get
scratch.
2 chances to put down a good score.
I'm nervous up
and
here
if you
in the
scratch
airplane,
on the
I'm fine.
first one as the STOL competitor
You're getting
pilot,
in my head. I know what you're doing.
No, I'm not.
This is psychological warfare.
You'll do fine.
And I'm gonna bring it.
You've never completely scratched out of a contest ever.
Because I've only been in a few of them. There's still time. The day is not over. Stop it now. I have to go.
You'll do good.
All right, buddy. Hey.
I'll see you out there. Be safe. Have fun.
I will.
Good
and
luck.
You too.
You need it. $55 feet, 88, 96, 98, 110, and 144. Those are our takeoff scores, and the light experimental Yeehaw 6 is leading it. But let's see what we can get coming back in. Tony Armour with his Just Highlander. He's going to fly that steep, high AOA approach, looking out the side of his airplane because he cannot see that landing line out the front. Winds, a little bit of tailwind component right here at the line is going to make it tough today. Burst the power, the nose came up, it floated him about 60 feet long. Oh boy. Definitely going to go, looking about 230 on that landing, not what he is hoping to get. .228 is it. All righty. Sorry about that, folks. I had to holler down at my my co-narrator and pilot, make sure that he got Mark and Angela's cameras turned on as we jump into the 170B 4311 Bravo to finish out the light touring round right after our light experimental. We are having such a great day here at Paradise Strip at Sun and Fun. Aviate Aircraft bringing us the STOL Winter Florida Classic, as well as American floats it just slightly past the line, touches down nicely. Our northeast contestant, Jim Crane, is getting a safe one in the books. That means round number 2 is going to get even more competitive, is what I think is going to happen here. Coming down the chute is our Cameron Simmons. He's got the Carbon Cub. Winds, God, they're just all over right now. They've died down. They're only 2-3 knots, but they're almost straight down the runway, so that's helping. High, stable, smooth approach. Cameron is looking good. Chop that power, get it down. A safe one in the books. He lands at the 50-foot mark, up on the brakes. Stopping just past the 200-year foot mark for this 24-year-old pilot. Almost all of his experience, he's been flying since he was 18. Almost all of it is in tailwheel airplanes. Oklahoma State graduate, proud graduate in their aviation management program, and now working on his master's degree with that 206-foot landing. Very well flown. Good job, Cameron. Now, our Xena STOL. We saw the Viking-powered one. Now let's see the UL-powered John Humbird. He's got a great website, our YouTube site out there you can go to. If you want to see some great Cessna 170 flying, go to Jughead Council. Check out Check out Jughead and his dog Dakota as they go fly through the Pacific Northwest. Fun off-airport sights, beautiful mountains, farmlands. They kind of got it all. Oh, looking good. John's bringing it in. He is going hard for the money. You see the gear as it shakes back and forth as max performance braking. Notice he ends up just left of the center line. I think he's going to like that. Sub 200 feet. Sub 150 feet. Look at that. Jay Stanford, you know, Acme Aero might have just helped you get to the podium, didn't it? He's down here with a big old smile and Acme Aero hat. It relies on those Acme Aero shocks to absorb the impact, keep the rebound, give him all the performance that he needs, both on the main gear and the tail wheels. And Jay Stanford giving a big shout out and thanks to Acme Aero and all their support for the STOL competition world out there. Now, our light sport experimental guys are still trying to figure out who is taking home the money. The 21-year-old Connor Simmons is like, I could use some of that. 1,000 hours is all he has, but it's almost all doing this right here, and it shows that it all was done well. Stopping in less than 100 feet, that was a beautiful first shot in the competition. What that tells me is now he knows he has a great one in the books. He put about 3 feet past the line. Now he can go out and do everything to max perform his next pass and see if he can move up, get himself a little bit higher on the podium. Steve Henry, Yeehaw 6, he's on short final. I think there's that onboard images. This is incredible. This guy will go out and practice 30 or 40 landings a day, several days a week. There's nobody that puts in more time, more effort, but he will sit and share the secrets and teach people about his love of aviation, his love of STOL flying. So not only is he a great competitor, but he's a great advocate as well. Boom. Skidding to a stop. That is neck and neck with Connor's. Neck and neck with Connor Simmons' performance right there. It is going to boil down to who did best on the takeoffs. I think 91 feet on the landing. Ladies and gentlemen, as we go into the final round of our light experimental categories, it is getting heated. The competition is tight. The flying is great. Give them a big round of applause. Wave at them as they go by. They can sure see you out there. Everybody on Live Air Show TV, thank you very much as they get reset. Let's go see what they've got for our great sponsors. Welcome back to the Winter Classic here at Sun and Fun Paradise Strip. We are having a great time. The sun is out, the breeze is blowing, the wonderful crowd is here, and the flying is not better anywhere you go. The STOL competition is winding down to the last round of competition for the light experimentals. We're going to be looking for our standings where we're at right now. But it is tight. It is really tight. Steve Hendry leading it off right now. Connor Simmons 40 feet behind him. John Humbert in the zenith is in there at 230. Then Cameron Simmons, Jim Crane, and Tony Armira. But anybody can still take this. It is on the line. The wind has picked back up. It's blowing stronger. It's more of a crosswind component. Every single pass has been a little bit different. So let's see what we can get started off with. Acme shots on Tony's just right here. They took Mr. Stanford to the podium. Maybe let's get Tony there as well. Now, Jim Crane, a veteran STOL competitor. He knows the pressure. He knows how to perform. He knows what it takes to win. He needs a little bit of wind right down the runway, and he needs to put everything together on this pass. Carbon Cub SS. There's the power, off the brakes, little forward stick, the flaps are pulled, they rotate, it gets airborne, he keeps it airborne, drakes the tail wheel, which is okay, left main just skimming the top of this grass right here. Oh, that was good. The judges are out, and it's going to come in, it looks like somewhere around 126, 127 feet. No, 122. AirTech Coatings, 122 measurement. That is good. Oh, it is not over. It is not over in any way. Now, this Titan 340 that Cameron Simmons has on his Carbon Cub, it is going to take everything he has and maybe a little bit off his Oklahoma Pistol Pete emblem on the back. Pump of smoke goes, no hesitation. Woo! He is in there within 10 feet of that takeoff, but it was definitely a little bit longer. Oh, this is fun. The problem is I'm going to get so excited watching these final round, and then I've got to sit here and watch my main competitor, Jeff Pohl, fly his Cessna 170. And then I've got to get detuned. I've got to get all this adrenaline out of me because I've got to go strap on the airplane and fly my competition rounds as well. You'll all have to wish me luck. All right, John Humbird, the Zenith. He moved up in the standings on the first round. Can he keep himself there? That was good. That's the thing about the Zenith. He's really consistent. Look at that airplane climb out. Hit back behind our competitors as they're on downwind. It looks like there's a formation of float planes and I don't know what else here at Sun and Fun. Great to see all the wonderful airplanes that have flown in. Of course, this afternoon after the STOL competition, we've got our air show, which you don't want to miss. Great events scheduled throughout the day here. Of course, it started with the run, the car show. John Lights and everybody at Sun and Fun doing such a good job. Putting on a great show. He went for it all on that first takeoff, trying to get everything he possibly could, but Connor Simmons comes up short with a long takeoff. He's Mr. Cool. Look at that. He's stretching. He's just kind of mentally getting himself prepared one last time. One set of safety checks, no rush. While he knows he can win it, he knows he also can lose it if he screws up here. Centrifugal clutch on that Yamaha Edge Performance engine. Tail wheel squats. Tailwind component at the line. He's not going to like that. Woo! I'm not sure how far it is to the beach, but I just think we saw somebody who's been sandbagging all day. I'm not sure. That was, oh my gosh, that was good. Wow. Looking at a score of 43 feet for Steve Henry and Yeehaw 6. Thank you, AirTech Coatings, for that. They definitely made the paint fly on that airplane. Wow. All right, this is it. This is what it all boils down to. You've practiced for months. You have traveled, some cases, 3,000 miles to get here, and it boils down to, oh, wait a minute, there's my Prime package. Cool, my Christmas shopping is almost done. Delivering it to me right here. It boils down to this one last pass, picking up that 12-inch painted line on the grass from a half mile out, flying the perfect, steady, minimum airspeed approach all the way down. Pulling the power, dumping the flaps at just the exact moment to maximize The touchdown is close to that line, but not 1/4 inch too soon. Tony Amir puts it down nicely, up on the brakes. The flaps are off. He's going for everything on this. I think he's going to like it. Whew. Oh. Doug, this is what it's all about. This is why all the effort, all the work, all the headaches that you've had to deal with is all about this right here. National STOL, bringing the neatest, fastest growing, most challenging, but most reachable aspect of aviation to everybody out there. My airplane costs less than a pickup, costs less than a speedboat, costs less than a lot of people's toys. STOL aviation is affordable at any level. Looking back here, watch him walking the tail, walking the rudder. Jim Crane coming in absolutely as slow as he can with his Carbon Cub, trying to get one last good one. That is looking great. He will be happy with that. Mass on those toe brakes. Get her stopped. Oh. The only thing wrong with Jim's performance today, and I've already talked to him about it, he didn't have the cargo pod on the bottom of that airplane full of Maine lobster. That would have been for some good dinner. Little Yingling beer and some lobster. We need to put that in the requirements for contestants from the Northeast. All right, Cameron Simmons, the Super STOL, not quite. How about Cameron Simmons in the Carbon Cub? Yeah. He's been consistent all day. Can he do it one more time? That's looking great. Oh, that is going to the line, Judge. So far, I'm thinking it's good. Stopping at about 130 feet. Look to the screen here, folks. The monitor tells me, I think the race director, competition director, is going to call that one good. It is at 134 feet. Oh, beautiful job. Cameron Simmons, he saves everything he had for this last pass. Sign of a true professional, a great competitor. The only thing we could make this better if we could broadcast the scores over the radio, because now all the other competitors would know the pressure is getting tighter and tighter and tighter to them. Now, a different approach. We're going to use the UL powered on this Zenith. John's going to bring this kind of drug in. This airplane will fly at a really high AOA, slow speed. Visibility gets tougher. Does he have enough power to hold it? Hold it, hold it. Oh, he did, and it was too much of a burst right there. You saw the airplane pitched up. Nice, stable landing gear, though. Look how hard he hit, and it rocked around, and that airplane still just rolled straight out. Great safety features of the Zenith. Oh, the big spring steel gear earning its money, but that is not going to be the landing that John wanted. Two more passes. Connor Simmons, Oklahoma State business admin. He's trying to get a little bit of money out of National STOL in his winner's purse. Go invest some of that money back into some business. Obviously, that last name Simmons, we've heard it a lot this weekend. There's the father and two sons down here flying a variety of different airplanes, and it's obvious that flying genes run deep in that family. Some of the nicest people really enjoyed getting to know them, and well-taught young men. Nice gentlemen, friendly, skillful. His first one he didn't like. Let's see if he can make this one a little better. A little power right there. Yeah, it's better. Smooth touchdown, cushioned with a little burst of power. Decent braking to get him out to around 150 feet, I think. I like that wind. It's starting to swing right down the runway. That is good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Henry, I don't have time. He's a half-mile final flying 20 mile an hour, and I still don't have time to tell you everything that he has won with Yeehaw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Luckily, he sold Yeehaw 7 off. It was built for STOL drag racing, and now he's back to competing with Yeehaw 6. But he has kind of led the industry in innovations for STOL flying, especially for the just aircraft lineage. Go talk to him about building your next just airplane, and let's see if he can put Yeehaw 6 right on the spot. Pretty good. Mashes on the brakes, brings it to a stop. I think Steve Henry is going to be happy with that. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Looking for the score, here it comes, and we have a score of 87 feet. Now, just down to the left, you heard the airplane fire up. We've got 2 more competitors to go fly in the light sport category, so this show's not done. Nobody leave anywhere. Jeff Pohl, who was on the narrator stand for the first time, he's a multi-time winner. Won at his first time in Valdez. He's won Lone Star STOL. He's going to taxi out in his 180-horse 170. As he taxis out, we're going to psychologically help him out, get prepared. So if you're everybody down to the left, hold your hands up in a big X right now, cross configuration. Let them see that. Yeah. Final results on the light experimental. Steve Henry takes the category with a combined takeoff and landing of 130 feet. Connor Simmons holds on for second at 187. His brother Cameron comes in at 229. Our zenith by Mr. John Humbird, 230. Jim Crane takes 319 as the win, and Tony Armour in at 334 for light experimental. Congratulations, everybody, on behalf of Aviate Aircraft, Legend, AirTech Coatings, Grip Ties. What a great performance. But like I say, we've got two more performers to compete, and then we will have the awards ceremony. So please stay here, don't go anywhere. What a good time. Now, it's going to be 2 passes. This is a 180-horse Avcon conversion, 31-inch Alaska bush wheels, Sportsman STOL stuff, Sportsman STOL cuff, VGs, and a T3 suspension. This is about as sweet as you can make a 170. Listen to that. Tail comes up. Jeff is ready to go get it done with the calm wind conditions, lifting off right at about 130 feet. Colonel, how you doing, sir? Did you have a good time here at... Oh, Matt, it's going to have you guys scratch, I'll buy dinner again. That almost sounds like a bad deal. That sounds like a bad deal. All right, 154 feet on the takeoff. I know he will be happy with that. Now, let's get him back around the pattern as quick as he can. While he does that, I got to change out of my show boots and get on my flying shoes. I don't know, if I'd fly with no shoes, it'd save some weight there, wouldn't it, Doug? That might be a good technique. I have to take off my tails, too. Oh, what a great time it has been here, and I cannot thank everybody who volunteered their time and effort here at Sun and Fun, Lakeland Aero Club, the young men and women out there, our line judges. Just been such a wonderful event. Great honor to be a part of it. I can't wait to see the live air show TV feed when I get home. Well, Jeff's bringing it around base. He's got a hook around the Geico building there. Now, he's been watching everybody throughout the day. He's been watching how the wind's been changing. So he knows it's tough. Try to make a good one in the book. Take the pressure off himself for the second pass. You see him crabbing into the wind up high. We expected about 80 feet. We should see the nose of that 170 classic round tail airplane straighten out. Little bit of headwind component. Looking stable, looking smooth. This guy's good. It's tough to beat him, especially in his own airplane. Burst of power, I like that. Oh! Oh my gosh! The big red X of death. Hal, that was not funny. I said that with sorrow. I feel terrible for my competitor slash friend. Woo! He's going to taxi back. He's going to get ready for one more. And what we're going to do when we get ready, as he makes his next round, I'm actually going to walk down there, finish his narration from right next to the side of the race course. And then, there it is, just ever so short. Pressure's on him. Pressure's on him. Onboard images for us coming off of the right wing strut there. Thank you again to Onboard Images for all the great footage today. I cannot wait to go home and see it. Look at that. All right, reset. Make sure the trim is set, the flaps are set again, power set, prop is set. Get everything right where you want it. He's been in entertainment mode all day, and now all of a sudden he's got to go into competitor mode. Not an easy task. A little bit of headwind. Go get it, buddy. That's a decent one. Lifting off in. What do we got here? Central Florida Classic 134. I think that is leading our light sport, our light touring division right there. It's two 170s, a 172 nose dragger and a 172 tail dragger, battling it out for the trophy. Whew, I think I need to get a drink of water. All right. He is turning base. He knows that that first one was no good. There's one of our youngest superstars coming off from over judging. Jaden, it was great to have you here, Miss Newman. He runs the Sodbuster STOL competition, which occurs in late August in Minnesota. He's won in Valdez. He's won at Lone Star STOL in Gainesville, Texas. He's kind enough to let me borrow his airplane and try to beat him in this competition. He studied and learned from one of the best in the business. And it's all coming down to the next 5 seconds. He's got one in the books. It's good. It is time for Jughead to head down and get ready to take over. We'll see you in the air, folks.
Flight. The feeling of exhilaration and anticipation when you lift off the ground and break through the clouds. It was that feeling that inspired the Wright brothers, Amelia Earhart, Bessie Coleman, Neil Armstrong, to shatter boundaries and explore frontiers that others thought were impossible. For over 40 years, we have been sharing that incredible feeling of flight at the annual Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo. It is what drove us to grow from a small group of aviation enthusiasts to one of the largest conventions in the world, and paved the way for us to create something that would impact future generations. With that vision in mind, the Aerospace Center for Excellence, or ACE, was formed. ACE resides on the 25 acres of the Sun and Fun Expo campus in Lakeland, Florida. Today, with the support of the Fly-In, year-round events, generous donors, volunteers, and key partnerships, ACE is reaching over 20,000 students, funding $2 million in STEM education programs, including $430,000 in aerospace scholarships annually. ACE was the first to create a high school flying club with its own grass airstrip, the first to have a high school unmanned aircraft system club operate on airport property, the first to have a fully functioning Boeing 727 classroom. We are the world's leader in producing teenage pilots, and we have launched an airframe and power plant certification program. ACE is home to the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, a public STEM high school, and aerospace discovery at the Florida Air Museum, the official aviation museum of the state of Florida. Through ACE, we have accomplished extraordinary firsts and are preparing today's youth to meet tomorrow's aerospace challenges. Our world needs more Orbos, Wilburs, Amelias, Bessies, and Neils, ready to explore and inspire us to be more than we ever thought possible. Join us in giving the gift of flight and creating the next generation of aerospace professionals. The Aerospace Center for Excellence, where the sky is just the beginning.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the guy in 1-1 Bravo right now is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, John Jughead Counsel, your MC here today. He is flying a plane we call the Dirty Bird. Now, we're sharing this airplane, and we're also sharing this booth. But what I can tell you is he's a lot better up here talking to you guys than I am. So, I am not sweating from being in the airplane. I'm sweating from being up here. So, let's everybody, yesterday I gave John a really hard time, but let's see what he does today. I think he rotated just a little too soon, but I tell you what, yesterday he kind of showed me up a little bit in my own airplane, which doesn't give you a warm fuzzy. I got people yelling at me right now. I'm used to that though. 190 for Jughead, 190. Now Jughead has a 170 at home that he probably feels a lot more at home in, but they're all pretty similar. This one has a couple more ponies, and he is no stranger to the cockpit, so I have no doubt he's going to pull it together. I just, I've got mixed feelings about it because he's flying my airplane, and what if he takes me out? How's that going to make me feel? Well, actually, at the end of the day, we're all friends. So yesterday, I gave him a ration, but truly, we're always rooting for our buddies to do their absolute best, and that doesn't matter if, you come in first place or last place. Nice view from our sponsor, Flight Cam. Look at that beautiful Trailblazer prop just windmilling up there. Little word out to Hartzell, who hasn't given me any money for traveling these STOL competitions. If they change their mind, work hard, Now Jughead likes to do a little bit steeper approach than I do, and he might be onto something because yesterday he was nailing those landings. And as I just showed, I got one in the books. My first one I thought was great, and it was not. Came up a little bit short. Let's see what Jughead can do here. He's working it just a little bit. The wind isn't bad, but it is a little bit shifty. That is a beautiful approach. Come on, Jughead. Nail this thing. He's going safe. Yep. Beautiful touchdown. He's past the line. Well done. He's getting a lot more serious today than he was yesterday. He was sandbagging me for sure. I knew it. Couldn't trust that guy. Told me he was wearing his lucky vest today, too. 225 feet for Jughead. 225. 222 I'm reading on here. What's going on, boys? We've got an argument going downstairs. We'll see who wins. John lining up for his second and final round. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, he's doing my tail hype. That's my move, buddy. Oh. I think he still rotated just a second too soon. Let's see what the judges have to say. Look at that. Taking my moves. 209 feet. 209 for Jughead. I see people walking away, but just remember, you guys walk away, you're going to hurt Jughead's feelings. He's been up here talking to you guys for 2 days, and he really wants to say goodnight and goodbye. Thank you all for coming, but if you walk away, you can't do that. He's going to be awfully upset. Another view from our sponsors, Flight Cam. Gosh, I love that. That airplane is just beautiful. Look at that, and that Trailblazer prop. I tell you what, I'm just buttering up Hartzell. Oh, I just got a word from downstairs that if Jughead lands 116 feet, he's going to knock me out. It's doable. That airplane has done it more than once. And Jughead is more than capable of doing it. Let's see if he puts it all together. The wind right now is just about a 90-degree crosswind. It's a little bit variable, probably between 5 and 7, so it's not a lot. But it can be enough to take that last little bit away from me at the end. Looking good so far. He likes those nice steep approaches, and he is really good at them. He showed us on that last one. I think he was just a couple feet past the line. He's working that throttle just a little bit. Oh, he's carrying it. Oh, and it's a scratch. Well, doggone it. Yeah, he probably gave it to me. Some people are yelling at me over here from the beer garden, the VIP booth, that he gave it to me. And they might be right, because I'll tell you, Jughead has quite a few more hours than I do. But, you know, if he did give it to me, he is probably a better sportsman than I am. Call that stolmanship. All right, now I got the air boss saying he felt sorry for me. So apparently, Jughead felt sorry for me, and so he gave that one to me. And nobody here, well, I shouldn't say nobody. People just like Jughead. Just he's so darn likable. Jughead, get your butt back up here. You need to say goodnight to these awesome people that came out to enjoy this event today. And I'm about out of words, and my mouth is getting dry, and I need a beer. Come on, buddy. Oh, you guys, if you could put the scores back up there, I just missed it. I was too busy looking at Jughead in his pretty vest. Not going to put it up for me? Okay, fine. Just going to put the camera, that camera on me. Stop it. Jughead, get back up here, buddy. Hey, awesome
Did I beat you?
You might have. I've not seen the official results.
You've not seen the official?
They took him down before I could read him.
Well, I knew the first one was in the book.
Well,
I knew the first one was in the book, so I really went for it. Heavy touring here to recap. Warren Grobler, our winner. William Grivestap second. Jimmy Guest taking third on the podium. Scores of 403, 493, and 597. I'm still out of breath. Oh, my gosh. Oh, how fun was that? That was nice air, actually. That was nice air. Light touring. Jeff, you did it.
I did it.
319.
Second, you know what, though?
413, Joel 505, and 630. What did I do? 204, 3. Oh.
Yeah, you're right there on the takeoffs. I think.
I thought I could do. I was really hoping for about 150. I had just a little bit of wind. Bush class, Austin Clemens winning it with Gary Ward, Chuck Kinberger coming in second and third. Of course, our experimental Bush. We know that Acme Arrow led the way in with Mr. Stanford. Jay doing a nice job. There it is. Total score of 220. John Wisdom
Nice.
in our American Legend aircraft, representing the sponsor here at home.
281 feet.
Yeah, 286 for our Zenith with the Viking engine. I mean, we had a wide variety of engines. We had a wide variety of airframes all showing up here and showing what they can do. And it really
real
kind
quick,
of boils down.
These volunteers
All
are walking
right.
off here. Everybody, whoever's left, let's give them a round of applause. These guys.
Absolutely. And of
Awesome
course,
job
Steve
today. Thank
Henry
you so
leading
much.
our light experimental out there.
What did
And
he come
then,
in at? I missed it.
Connor Simmons and John Humbard finishing. I'm sorry, Connor Simmons and Cameron Simmons. We put two Simmons up on the podium, but Steve Henry, Yeehaw 6, taking home another one.
What did he end up doing?
So total score, I forget. It's short. It's short.
Of course, it's short. Steve Henry.
But well, Jeff, congratulations on your first time on the narrator stand up here, live air show TV. It's been absolutely great. It is John Jughead Council, and we are here with the Aviate Aircraft Florida Classic. And it was Paradise Strip for me today. I hope it was for you as well.
It was, except for being up here, buddy. I mean, I can't even tell you.
Sun and fun. We can't thank you enough. Ladies and gentlemen, go to nationalstol.com to catch the details on our next event. It's been our honor. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.